Make it all be so simple. Make it all be so simple. Designer gas, so the price ain't low. I don't know about you and yours. All my hitters train to go. Gotta keep that pistol close. I can't fuck no lazy hoe. I can't fuck no dusty hoe. I like all my honey's blue. I don't know, got into you. Like da da da. Make that ass clap like da da da. Oh, like da da da. Bring that ass back like da da da. Hit her from the back, make a movie, ayy. I'ma take a trip like my shoes ain't lace. Don't play me, I don't wanna be played. Don't save her, she don't wanna be saved. I is vibe in a good mood. Remember all them tough times I went through. You fuck with me, I fuck with you. Don't lie to me, I won't lie to you. Oh, like da da da. Make that ass clap like da da da. Oh, like da da da. Bring that ass back like da da da. Designer gas, so the price ain't low. I don't know about you and yours. All my hitters train to go. Gotta keep that pistol close. I can't fuck no lazy hoe. I can't fuck no dusty hoe. I like all my honey's blue. I don't know, got into you. Like da da da. Make that ass clap like da da da. Oh, like da da da. Bring that ass back like da da da.
All right, what's going on? Shout outs to everybody here. It's Player Talk Radio. We are back. Hold up. My voice came back just a tad bit. Hold on, y'all. Hold up. All right, give me 1 second. Let me set this up. It's Player Talk Radio. What's going on, Chris G? Shout out to Lord ADS in the building. Shout out to Shaka Nulu in the building. Give me 1 second. It's Player Talk Radio. Let's go. Hold on. I'm regaining control of everything going on over here. Everything is moved. And I got y'all. It's Player Talk. Hold up.
Yeah, this how I kick my summer off, reclining on that butter salt. Got me feeling like I flipped 100 somersaults. Hit the coffin, blow the best. I got high standards. Have me clenching to your chest, Fred G. Sanford. I tell him you ain't shit. I'm a Mac player. See the skins on these steppers. That's an alligator. She want me like an elevator. Should've been pimped. Super. Think the Clark Kent sister. Yeah, I stay trapping like a vice lord. Stay strapped like a patient in the psych ward. I held up to his head, boy, I'm not going. Butter so soft, you can pour it over popcorn.
I'm riding on chrome, ain't nothing better. You know what I'm on. They pushing that leather, flicking through the city with they on my lap. No seatbelt, but it's still strapped. Yeah, I'm on that pushing that leather. You know what it is when I put them both together. I'm all about this pimpin', baby, get up in my ride. It's going down tonight. Yeah.
Riding in my old school with my new sitting on sixes. I'm throwing deuces out of garbage bag. Kush vaporized, got the type of paper make a couple testify. So trill and I put that on this 45. 40 million trying to buy a puffy house. I'm into things, culinary arts. In the Porsche, you can smell the poultry when I park. Used to wear a vest, now I just don't give up. 30 at the bar, really I don't give up. 20 in the strip club, I'ma live it up. Turn around, put the pimpin' down, she gotta give it up.
I'm riding on chrome, ain't nothing better. You know what I'm on. They pushing that leather, flicking through the city with they on my lap. No seatbelt, but it's still strapped. Yeah, I'm on that pushing that leather. You know what it is when I put them both together. I'm all about this pimpin', baby, get up in my ride. It's going down tonight.
Combination is spinnerful, double shit, this is spinnable. The leather in my lap is similar to a living room. So sit back and relax as we climax to the pinnacle. As long as you relax, the conversation is minimal. They say that pimpin' there will cause I'm living proof. Minus the alligators, activators, and linen suit. Yeah, baby, cause you know what I'm on. Cause we living for the moment, day you here, next day you gone. So it's gon' last forever, but at least the switch is gone. But she got more than enough, so just roll up and repeat the song. Baby, you know that I'm fly, it's in my SY chromosome. You can see by the way I'm riding, you can smell it from my cologne.
I'm riding on chrome, ain't nothing better. You know what I'm on. They pushing that leather, flicking through the city with they on my lap. No seatbelt, but it's still strapped. Yeah, I'm on that pushing that leather. You know what it is when I put them both together. I'm all about this pimpin', baby, get up in my ride. It's going down tonight. Yeah.
All right, we should be back. It's Player Talk Radio. Yeah. Yeah. Put a one in the chat if you guys can hear me, man. Yeah, that 90s shit, man. All right, my voice is somewhat back, man. My bad. I was supposed to go live last night, and I really fell asleep, y'all. I was on the fucking I took some medicine. I forgot cold medicine will have you fucked up. I was fucked up. I stayed in bed. Like, I couldn't. Like, you ever just been awake, but you're like, you can't move? That's what happened to me, you know, for the last, like, several hours and stuff like that, man. But, you know, I've been on top of it, you know. I got my voice back a little bit. No homo, my throat don't hurt as much. So we getting back good, man. I appreciate you guys. Thank you guys so much for supporting the show. You know, let's keep the support going. It's Player Talk Radio. We are in the building. So much stuff to cover on tonight's show. So we're gonna get back into it. So, they were mad as hell. They were mad as hell at they was and they are mad as hell at your boy Donald Trump, man. The UN right now is having like a crazy ass meeting right now, and they really want to condemn him. But the people that's talking, they really have no leg to stand on. I think the only people that really has somewhat of a leg to stand on is China. Crazy as cat. I think the only people that has somewhat of a leg to stand on is China, but I don't know. You know what it seems like, and I'm gonna say it. I think they don't really want him peering into what's going on, with Venezuela, because they got a lot of little fucked up deals going on down there with Russia and Venezuela. And when you're like politically bullying someone and reaping them of their oil and all that other stuff, stuff like that comes out, when countries get taken over and stuff like that, so they're trying to say that, America's bullying them when I was about to say Argentina, when Venezuela is getting pillaged, politically by other countries and stuff like that. They got little fucked up deals and shit going on, and they really don't want America peeling into that, because that's gonna fuck up their little pockets. And then if they they now they got to restructure deals and stuff like that. They got to restructure how they getting oil. They got to restructure everything now. Because Donald Trump now kind of got them by the balls. When it comes to the resources and stuff that they were getting from Venezuela. What's going on, EB? As always, good to see you, brother, in the place to be. Please hit the like button on the way in. Yes, sir. Yes. And I'm sick, man. Even when I'm sick, I'm working, man. And thorough too. I appreciate you, man. As always, man. So yeah, I made sure I gave y'all some content today, man. I was knocked out, man. Cold medicine, I took one last night and woke up and took one, and both times I was knocked out. I had I took one, and then I took a little bit of I had a little bit of a snack today, and right after that snack, man, it just I was gone.com, But I don't know what was happening with my last streaming software. It kept cutting off. So, thank you guys for your support. We reinvigorated the StreamYards. So if you enjoy these type of shows, please please keep supporting the show, But I got you guys. But let's see what people are saying. We're gonna get back into it. Shout outs to Party. We were going over Jason Black, and we got a Professor Black Truth chiming in on it. Black people got to insert their FBA and weirdo BS.
Which Washington did not even attempt to conceal the.
Donald Trump is.
Let me show y'all too how the world and people love to be lied to. Yeah, man. I hope you get better, bro. I hope you feel better, man. This shit is no joke. It waited till around my birthday too, But anyway, y'all, please support the show. And I got y'all. It's Player Talk Radio. Give me 1 second. Let's get into it. Oh, what I wanted to show you guys too is that the world wants America to lie about what it's doing. Trump says, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Trump says, yeah, we going after their oil. He not even, playing about it, and I got a thumbnail that I was supposed to put up. I totally forgot. But remember that Dave Chappelle skit where he was acting like he was the Black George Bush, and you know he had to like tiptoe around that he's doing stuff for oil. Trump he's not even tiptoeing around the fact that he's doing stuff for oil. He said, yeah, we're taking their oil. And the funny part is that people want Trump to lie. They want him to lie. It's like, oh, he's not even hiding the fact that he's doing it for oil. Fuck no. We need that motherfucking oil. So now it went from we don't have any oil to now we got all the oil. And then on top of that, it's like, why was the oil man talking shit? Why was the oil man talking shit? Why did Maduro talk all of that shit? Knowing damn well he's sitting on all that damn oil. He didn't think this could happen. That's what this shows me. That he didn't think this could happen. So now they're like, oh, well, they need to release him at once. China's like, now China, and Trump has been meeting up with China, and they're talking about, he's talking about, oh, they have a great relationship and shit like that. Well, shit. Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't know if they got a great relationship anymore, man. Let's go on King Picks. Well, let's get into it. It's Player Talk Radio. Let's go.
Losing it this morning as an emergency United Nations Security Council meeting has been called into session.
I don't know if he should have invested in some nukes now. We would have took them shits too. We done deboed the whole country from them in less than 5 hours, y'all.
Donald Trump is making post after post while this United Nations Security Council meeting is taking place. Trump is posting about the 2020 election, and he continues to spread 2020 election lies, saying that the election was stolen from him. At the same time, the Security Council meeting is taking place, where we're hearing from Michael Waltz, Donald Trump's ambassador to the United Nations, who's saying that the Western Hemisphere should be controlled by the United States, and the reason that we invaded Venezuela was to take their resources, and we are going to assert this same type of right across the Western Hemisphere. There's no mention of the UN Charter. There's no mention of sovereignty. This is just utter imperialistic, raw. You hear it for yourself. Listen to what Michael Waltz has to say. Here, play this clip.
As Secretary Rubio stated just yesterday, this is the Western Hemisphere. This is where we live. And we're not going to allow the Western Hemisphere to be used as a base of operation.
Well, this is the thing though, King Picks. He said he said Greenland might be next. He's putting Canada on notice. And he's talking crazy to Mexico and Cuba. Lord have mercy.
For our nation's adversaries and competitors and rivals of the United States. You can't turn Venezuela into the operating hub for Iran, for Hezbollah, for gangs, for Cuban intelligence agents, and other malign actors that control that country. You cannot continue to have the largest energy reserves in the world under the control adversaries of the United States under the control of illegitimate leaders and not benefiting the people of Venezuela and stolen by a handful of oligarchs inside of Venezuela. But it does.
Then the ambassador to the United Nations from the United States, Michael Waltz, said there was actually no war against Venezuela. He said it was just a law enforcement operation. Why is everybody calling this a war? Here, play this clip.
Colleagues, the United States successfully carried out a surgical law enforcement operation facilitated by the U.S. military against two indicted fugitives of American justice, narco-terrorist Nicolas Maduro and Celia Flores. Colleagues, Nicolas Maduro is responsible for attacks on the people of the United States, for destabilizing the Western Hemisphere, and illegitimately repressing the people of Venezuela. As Secretary Rubio has said, there is no war against Venezuela or its people. We are not occupying a country.
And that's why they're really trying to run with this narrative that there's a war going on. It's like, oh, they're going to war. It's like, bro, the war, whatever war that was started is done. Took Venezuela in less than 5 hours, y'all.
This was a law enforcement.
So I think his wife is going to court today. He was like, oh, I'm going to read all my charges and stuff like that. And they got like the charges against him. And, he was like, yeah, I'm going to read all my charges and stuff. And once he like read all the charges and stuff, he pled not guilty. And then, his wife, yeah, it's Dunsky, bro. It's over, it's over with, They're really trying to negotiate to get him out before the case and stuff like that starts. But, his wife, I think she's going on trial today, but he pled not guilty. And, what I'm about to say, he started like wearing like clothing. So like he's in his orange jumpsuit, but like he's wearing clothing over his orange jumpsuit, y'all. And they said the same thing with his wife and stuff. Hold on, let me see if I can find the video for y'all. Give me 1 second. Let me let this play real quick. Please, y'all, hit the like button on the way in. Double tap the screen if you're on the vertical. Please support the show. Let's get it.
Operation in furtherance of lawful indictments that have existed for decades. The United States arrested a narco trafficker who is now going to stand trial in the United States in accordance with the rule of law for the crimes he's committed against our people for 15 years. A similar action was taken in 1989 against Manuel Noriega.
Then the United States was getting condemned by everybody from China to Russia to Denmark. And here's the thing. You lose any moral high ground. You lose the right to assert the rights of other nations when you engage in these behavior that the United States has engaged in here. So this gave Russia the opportunity and China the opportunity on a world stage to condemn the United States for attacking the world order. That's one of the consequences of engaging in an unlawful invasion like Donald Trump did on Venezuela. So here's the Chinese deputy ambassador to the United Nations saying China is deeply shocked and strongly condemns this unilateral action by the United States. Play this clip.
On January the 3rd, the United States blatantly launched large-scale military strikes against Venezuela, forcibly seized Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro and his wife, and took them out of the country. It claimed that it will run Venezuela and even didn't rule out launching a second round of military operations on an even larger scale. China is deeply shocked by and strongly condemns the unilateral, illegal, and bullying acts of the U.S. For some time now, the international community has repeatedly expressed grave concern over the U.S. sanctions, blockade, and threats of force against Venezuela. The Council convened 2 emergency meetings.
Oh my God. Shout outs to War Master. He said, China is nothing but hot, stank breath. I feel you, man.
During which Secretary General Guterres, many council members, and countries in the region and beyond unanimously called for abiding by the UN Charter.
Now, they're saying in NATO that Putin is in there, like, you know, trying to lecture everybody about taking over and all this other stuff, but it's like he can't say nothing. How you going to say what he's saying when he did the same thing to Ukraine? So, negotiation-wise, because you know that's what Trump is about. That's what we all, if y'all been paying attention, you should know what Trump is doing right now. You should know how deep into chess Trump is playing right now. You know this is all a negotiation thing. It's like, okay, you want that man free? Stop the war. You know, how you actively doing the same thing, but you want to lecture another company about morals? Yeah, and they were using the term, they used their term, War Master, fucked around and found out. Around he fucked, found out he did. You know, let's go.
And the international law, maintaining...
What's going on, Guido? Good to see you, man. Happy New Year's to everybody here. Please hit the like button on the way in. Support the show. We are back. It's Player Talk Radio. Let's get it.
And restraint.
My voice is somewhat back, so I'm glad to be here with you guys. Give me 1 second.
Resolving disputes peacefully, de-escalating tensions, and safeguarding regional stability. However, as a permanent member of the Council, the U.S. has disregarded the grave concerns of the international community, wantonly trampled upon Venezuela's sovereignty, security, and legitimate rights and interests, and seriously violated the principles of sovereign equality, non-interference in internal affairs, peaceful settlement of international disputes, and the prohibition of the use of force in international relations. These principles constitute the fundamental tenets of the UN Charter and form the cornerstone of maintaining international peace and security.
I mean, but Venezuela's oil is different. Like, we don't need to go to the Middle East no more. We don't need the Middle East no more. We don't need the Middle East no more, man. We don't need the Middle East no motherfucking more. So he said he gonna go after Greenland. Well, he said in a couple of weeks they're gonna go after Greenland, so they can try to play like they wasn't warned. He also said that he's gonna go, he's gonna rob Van Ham on Canada if they playing around. You know, that 54th state. And he said Cuba better watch out. He getting pinched. You know, they might get pinched in Cuba. What's going on, party? Good to see you, man. All the heavy hitters in the building. I'm about to play your video next, party, that you shared, man. Good stuff, man. He actually moving smarter than this small mustache man. You know, War Master said Trump, China and Russia can go get a big bucket and shut the fuck up. Yeah, he's gonna find out how their deals are set up. He's gonna find out how bad they were pillaging Venezuela. And they don't want him to know that, because the thing is that they had fucked up deals with Venezuela. Trump gonna make sure them deals are right. And he gonna put a tariff on them oils. So any tariff America got going on, hey, best believe the oil finna follow. Let's get
security.
Now, normally in a
This is not Venezuelan oil. This is pure American oil now, y'all.
situation like this, you would see allies of the United States speaking up, not here. Here's the Chinese deputy ambassador again urging the United States to abide by international law. I mean, to watch this United Nations Security Council meeting as an American and seeing American as the
And you got people. They're trying to impeach Donald Trump. They're trying to make this a big deal, but hey, we're gonna see.
As alone, as the bad guy in the world, as the evil force.
And that's another thing that they're saying. They're saying that nobody in the UN, nobody is standing up for America with this move. Nobody. But hey, listen, it's called South America for a reason. Fuck it.
In the world, it is really tragic to watch this. Here's the Chinese deputy ambassador play this clip.
In Latin America and the Caribbean, and indeed internationally, China firmly opposes this, and the international community has also expressed widespread grave concern and strong.
Now I keep hearing what was the word, the law that you kept bringing up, War Master, because they're talking about that now, and I was gonna do a deep dive on that today with you guys. Shout outs to little Shirley. Yeah, Midas touch. There you you know. But this is the thing. Nobody's standing up for America. What's going on, UFO Kamikaze? Nobody's standing up for America. They don't want, I'm gonna subscribe. Shout out to little Shirley. She said she watches them, so let me subscribe because it came across my timeline. Thank you so much. Shout outs to little Shirley. Happy New Year's. Good to see you. No, not the Law of the Sea Treaty. It was somebody's name. It starts with an M. I forgot the name. Starts with an M, War Master. It's a certain type of law that you said. It was that they're gonna try to reinvigorate. I forgot the name of it. But this is the thing, yeah, it's South America. But fuck it. It got the word America on it, it's ours. Listen, Americans can't be so mad about this shit because the thing is that shit, we need the oil. Fuck it. Trump is like, look, we just gonna take over the whole Eastern Hemisphere. I mean, the whole Western Hemisphere. Yeah, I heard of David Pakman. Shout outs to everybody here. Please, everybody here, wish little Shirley a happy New Year and happy New Year's to everybody here. Let's get it. Yeah, Monroe Doctrine. Yes. Thank you, UFO. Thank you, Chris G. Yeah, the Monroe Doctrine. Yeah, what is that? We'll take a look at it. It's player talk.
Condemnation. We urge the U.S. to heed the overwhelming voice of the international community, abide by international law and the purposes and principles of the UN Charter, cease infringing upon the sovereignty and security of other countries, stop toppling the government of Venezuela, and return to the path of political solutions through dialogue and negotiations. We call on the U.S. to ensure the personal safety of President Maduro and his wife and to release them at once. We support the Council in fulfilling its primary responsibility to maintain international peace and security, and we support all efforts by the UN Secretary General, regional countries, and organizations that contribute to promoting dialogue and de-escalating the situation. President, the lessons of history are a stark warning. Military means are not the solution to problems, and the indiscriminate use of force will only.
I think they, of course, Maduro is kind of like their whipping boy, and they were getting great oil deals from him. But I think they're upset how quickly we captured him. Like, we captured that man like a Pokemon. We caught him and his wife like a damn Pokemon, y'all. He is in an American Pokeball right now. And I saw the pictures of him earlier, but I kind of do feel sorry for him. But it's like, dang, I'm not gonna say it's war, but if they like, yo, he got to serve some time in New York. He done, you know, he was poisoning American people. I mean, who's to say that's not an act of war? It's like ain't no war, you know. Especially how fast we took them out. Shit, ain't no what war. I know he need to capture my. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh, War Master. He said America told Europeans to keep your hands off the Western Hemisphere. Oh my God. I can't believe you said this, War Master. This is funny as hell.
Lead to greater crisis. The U.S.
Then we heard from the Danish ambassador. And again, this
I was really trying to get one this Christmas, you know. Hold on. It may be, man.
Was an important
definitely this year.
Speech here because Donald Trump has been threatening Greenland next, right? Donald Trump says Cuba, Greenland, Colombia, potentially Canada. I mean, he's always talked with that 51st state rhetoric, but lately he's been saying in a few months we're going to take Greenland, and Greenland is part of the Kingdom of Denmark. Here's what the Denmark ambassador, the Danish ambassador, said. Let's play this clip.
Denmark recalls the foundational principle of international law that forbids states from threatening or using force against another state's territorial integrity and political independence. This imperative is enshrined in Article 2.
Yeah, he took that man and his lady. Shout outs to everybody in the building. Please hit the like button, support the show. We're going to have a great show today. If you guys want to chime in, please support the show. Unlock the panel. Shout outs to everybody over on Rumble. Shout outs to everybody over on Kick. Trump said, F your president and I'm going to take your biatch. You know the game. The game chose me. Real talk.
Paragraph 4 of the UN Charter. Members of the UN Security Council have a special responsibility to uphold these principles. The principles of sovereignty.
And then now we're seeing if the world can do anything about it. Can the world do anything about it? I doubt it.
Political independence and territorial integrity must be respected.
I mean, what you gonna do? I mean, on one end, if you're like, oh, well, Trump should have handled this diplomatically and, try to do business with them. You would be a hypocrite, which these people have no problems with being a hypocrite, because how the hell out of everybody, Putin, out of all people, is up there lecturing people in the UN or NATO. You know, he's lecturing people right now about how this was wrong and stuff like that. And then you got, the Chinese president. He's upset, having like these weird meetings, having like these weird meetings with Kim Jong-un. Can't really do nothing with him. Yeah, he got zoomed to Trump land for real, man. War Master said Maduro has been part of the United States since ancient times. Jesus Christ. Let's go.
The inviolability of borders is not up for negotiation. These are universal, sacrosanct principles enshrined in international law. They apply everywhere.
So then you had the Russian ambassador condemning the United States, and the Russian ambassador says, okay, this is your rules-based order that you used to lecture us on. This is what you lectured us on, really? Great work, world. Maybe we should do it a different way. See, it gives Russia the ability to say this. Here, play this clip.
Depending upon the political landscape. Today, we are reaping the consequences of their recklessness and selectivity in matters related to respect for the norms of international law, which were linked to the so-called rules-based world order. Here is your rules-based world order in all of its glory, which is horrifying.
More from the Russian ambassador here, attacking the United States and saying we're appalled by the unparalleled cynicism which Washington did not even attempt to conceal its true aims of taking all of the resources from Venezuela. Here, play the.
So look at how the world is like, hey, please lie to us and say what you're doing is not what you're doing. Please lie to us and say what you're doing is not what you're doing. Why aren't you concealing what you're doing?
God damn it! You can't make this shit up!
This clip.
Of aggression due to a fear of angering the American global gendarme, which is attempting to once again rear its head. We are particularly appalled by the unparalleled cynicism with which Washington did not even attempt to conceal the true aims of its criminal operation, namely the establishment of unbridled control over Venezuela's natural resources and the assertion of their hegemonical ambitions in Latin America. In this way, Washington is generating fresh momentum.
And just think about it. Russia, who engages in the same conduct right now as the United States just did in Venezuela.
Yeah, like the internet moves so fast. It's like it's like you can't even lie right. War Master said China keeps saying Taiwan is a part of China since ancient times. No matter how many times they say it, it's still BS. Yeah, and I was just telling my bro the other day. I was like, bro, like I'm like, all of this shit was all belong to China, even Thailand. Even Thailand. But and the way that they're getting mad at Trump using, whatever he wants as justification for capturing Maduro, they're using that as justification for, invading other countries, just lying all over the damn place,
Yo, what? I did not hate you. Yo, y'all some scammers, bro. I got the whole shit on camera. Move.
Lying, bro. And people are saying that, oh, well, now that Trump did what he did, that now China's going to go after Taiwan. I don't know.
Now is in the United Nations lecturing the United States, and the U.S. has no support. There's no allies. The United States is all alone while Donald Trump's making social media posts about the 2020 election and about windmills and saying that these are bald eagles getting killed by windmills when he's posting photographs of like Israel and Spain and Taiwan from like 2010 and 2006. This is what's going on. Here's the Russian ambassador firmly condemning the U.S. acts of armed aggression. Here, play this clip.
There is
oh my God,
no
UFO.
and can be no justification for the crimes cynically perpetrated by the United States in Caracas. We firmly condemn the U.S. act of armed aggression against Venezuela in breach of all international legal norms. In connection with the confirmed reports about the presence of the abducted president of Venezuela, Nicolas Maduro, and his spouse in the United States.
Yeah, I mean, we took them. We took the hell out of their president.
If I broke, now my business.
Took the hell out of him.
You're a victim.
Here we go, CSI.
today, as we are aware, they are in New York. We call upon, corrects the speaker, the U.S. leadership to immediately release the legitimately elected president of an independent state and his spouse. Any problems existing or conflict between the United States and Venezuela need to be resolved through dialogue. And this is precisely what is enshrined in the UN Charter, for purposes and the principles of which a number of states in recent years have begun to apply selectively.
That's coming from Russia. And when you engage in the unlawful conduct, you don't abide by the UN Charter like the US does. This is the natural consequence. This is exactly what we warned against. Now, Russia and China said, okay,
how can Russia? China hasn't done the bullshit yet. They're waiting to do the bullshit that they want to do. But how can Russia and China lecture America about anything at this point?
God damn it! You can't make this shit up!
How? Like, can they lecture anybody about any of this stuff, man? How? How can they lecture anybody about any of this shit? Especially Putin. He's the main one they say is going off.
I was fucked up. I hit rock bottom. I was disgusted then when I did it. I'm disgusted now.
How? Party said they act like you can't press send as you put the pistol in somebody's mouth. Uh-oh. War Master said Maduro stole the election just like Biden. UFO struck back and said Maduro stole the election. Trump stole Maduro. Tomato, tomato. Medio tiempo, Maduro.
Condemning you. This is how you do things. Maybe we need to restructure the world order. Then we heard from the UN Undersecretary Rosemary DiCarlo reading a statement from the United Nations Secretary General, United Nations Chief Antonio Guterres at the United Nations Security Council meeting on Venezuela. Here's what she discussed: how deeply concerned they are over the United States violating international law, not following the UN Charter. Here, play this clip right here.
I remain deeply concerned that rules of international law have not been respected with regard to the 3 January military action. The Charter enshrines the prohibition of the threat or use of force against the territorial integrity or political independence of any state. The maintenance of international peace and security depends on the continued commitment of all member states to adhere to all the provisions of the Charter. Mr. President, Venezuela has experienced decades of internal instability and social and economic turmoil. Democracy has been undermined. Millions of its people have fled the country. The situation is critical, but it is still possible to prevent a wider and more destructive conflagration. I call on all Venezuelan actors to engage in an inclusive, democratic dialogue in which all sectors of society can determine their future. This entails the full respect of human rights, the rule of law, and the sovereign will of the Venezuelan people. I also urge Venezuela's neighbors and the international community more broadly to act in the spirit of solidarity and in adherence to the principles, laws, and rules erected to promote peaceful coexistence. I welcome and am ready to support all efforts aimed at assisting Venezuelans in finding a peaceful way forward. Mr. President, Excellencies, in situations as confused as...
why would you let the Venezuelan people talk? They seem happy. Like, they were celebrating in the streets. They were like, thank you, America. bear in mind too, a lot of people don't want America to be the quote unquote hero. Yeah, they're being hypocrites. Like at the same time, like they're talking about some. Oh, well, Trump didn't hide that he want oil. Well, why can't y'all hide that y'all are being hypocrites? Why can't y'all hide that y'all are being hypocrites? You know, this is crazy, y'all. Y'all hit the like button and support the show. We're gonna go in, man. I appreciate you guys. Shout outs to Dolomite. Said, what doesn't happen now? The UN crying. Yeah. The Putin up there getting mad as hell. They already fucked around and find out. Dolomite said they're gonna fuck around and find out. Also, if the US removed their budget from the UN, that is gonna you know what I think is happening though? This is what I'm thinking was happening, y'all. Shout out to Dolomite. Happy New Year's, brother. I'm gonna tell y'all some real shit. They're gonna find out the fucked up deals that Russia has with Russia and China has with Maduro. I think that lady that's in there, she's buying time, and I think I got her mixed up with another lady that went missing for a while. You know, right, little Shirley. This move right here, Trump is restoring, the patriotism in America. You know what I'm saying? Trump already knew. I don't know why Maduro was talking shit. I think he thought that he was safe behind Russia and China. And Trump was like, yeah, big bag.
Ooh, ooh, yeah, big bag.
Big bag. Stupid ass people, man. Maduro was dumb as hell. What's going on, Ghostman King? Happy New Year. Said Trump's actions are only going to push other nations towards alliance with the BRICS. Yeah, but the thing is that they know. See, if the Democrats did this, which they wouldn't, if the Democrats did this, there would actually be a war. Trump has been planning this for a while. They had a whole facility the same way, you know how they took out Osama bin Laden? They had a whole facility carrying out this act because they caught them on they caught them in a building on like some upper floor, and they were like, yo, when they kicked in the door, Maduro didn't even have a chance to lock the door. So they caught him. This is carefully planned. And to see the thing is that if they you know what I'm saying, if the Democrats was in office, they would have they would have openly ate off of this deal. They don't want to have the Republicans in office, especially Trump. It's not even the Republicans. They don't want Trump in office because now they know that he's going to put tariffs and sanctions and stuff. He's going to be putting all kinds of stipulations on how they get their oil and their minerals and resources now. And it's like, damn, it's like he's fucking up two homeboys at once. He kidnapped one of your homeboys that has a crazy deal with the homeboy that he kidnapped. Now this is gonna hit Russia in the back end. So it's like, bro, if you want to keep funding your little war and shit, and you need oils for your little goofball tanks, let me stop playing. Russia got some artillery, bro. But now we gonna have to come to a deal, man. He's restoring good deals, y'all.
My nigga, don't put me on camera, bro.
Nah, you good.
1500 Asian lady did them.
At the dentist?
Yeah.
Nah, bro, you gotta go back, bro. What did they do?
They gonna file them down, but you know what I'm saying?
They put them over your regular teeth?
Nah, they took my teeth out and they gotta file them, bro.
Nah, fam. Nah, bro,
nah,
you gotta
really
go back.
hot-siding them. You hot-siding them.
Nah, I'm just saying, bro. The bitch is big, bro. You ain't seen yourself? Bro, I'm just saying, bro.
Y'all hit the like button. Please support the show. Hit the Cash App. Niggas getting horrible deals, y'all.
My nigga, don't put me on camera, bro.
No, you good, you good.
1,500 Asian lady did them.
At the dentist?
Yeah, yeah.
Nah, bro, you gotta go back, bro. Did they fucking, what did they do?
They gonna file them down, but you know what I'm saying?
So they put them over your regular teeth?
Nah, they took my teeth out and they gotta file them, bro.
Nah,
fam.
Nah, fam.
Nah,
Nah, bro, you gotta
really
go back.
hot-siding them. You hot-siding
Nah,
them.
I'm just
For
saying,
real,
bro.
fool. For
The
real.
bitch is big, bro.
You a
You
hoe
ain't
ass
seen yourself? Bro, I'm just saying, bro.
Horrible deal, y'all. Horrible deal.
Complex as the one we now face, it is important to stick to principles. Respect for the UN Charter and all other applicable legal frameworks to safeguard peace and security. Respect for the principles of sovereignty, political independence, and territorial integrity of states. The prohibition of the threat or use of force.
Exactly.
The power of the law must prevail. International law contains tools to address issues such as illicit traffic in narcotics, disputes about resources, and human rights concerns. This is the route we need to take.
Yep, and Donald Trump just continues to post away on social media about the 2020 election. I like that Trump, this is what Trump posts. I like that Trump is circling back to voter fraud from 2020, just in time for the 2020 elections. Trump forgets nothing. Or how about this one? An IT expert.
Well, I think Trump is circling around back to voter fraud because the wars and stuff would have never happened if Biden did what he did. Like literally when Trump was leaving office, Putin was like, yo, if y'all help Ukraine, this is how hypocritical Putin is, y'all, too, y'all. He was like, yo, if y'all help Ukraine, we gonna fuck them up. And we might fuck y'all up. Biden sat up there and sent missiles to Ukraine, just tore off the American flag, tore off the American sticker, slapped Ukraine stickers on it, and sent them shits over. And then the war got worse. And then Trump came back into office. Biden up there helped Ukraine, took a check, and didn't say nothing. He show me Biden or Kamala or any of them sitting down with Putin. He literally sent the weapons over to the Ukraine and then ghosted Putin. So when Trump said he inherited the war, he's like, okay, well, listen, I'm in a little proxy war going on over here. Don't get mad at me because we getting some oil. Shit, and if they want to take America to war, then that oil going to come in handy. And if they want to start moving some of them barrels by land, ooh, guess where they have to go through? They got to go through Mexico. It's some real shit, y'all. I mean, just think about what I'm telling y'all. They're going to have to go through Mexico. They got to go through Colombia, probably go through Mexico. We said F Panama. We turned that shit to the Gulf of America. China was running that shit too. Woo-wee. Woo-wee.
Expert, after gaining access to forensic image from Dominion, shows that the 2020 election was stolen, and it was also
Right,
most
UFO.
recently stolen in Brazil. Trump votes were switched to Joe Biden votes. I mean, this is what the guy is.
What's going on, Misha? Happy New Year, love. New Year's to you and your family. Be safe out there in Canada. Trump said Canada's is next.
Posting about right now. Then he has his little stooges, his MAGA Republican propagandists.
Yeah. Party. My bad. Shouts to Party. He did a grenade and then ran.
On state regime media. So an invasion. This was a law enforcement operation. This is like what Teddy Roosevelt did. And then Maria Bartiromo was like, yeah, you know, they were killing us with those drugs. We got to stop those drugs. There wasn't drugs coming in. They were oil. This is
all right. Now towards the U.S. Drug mule boats. And this is what's killing. This is killing modern media. This is why channels like this should definitely be super supported, because shit, I ain't killing modern media. We made better. What? See, these bigger publications, they can lie to y'all. Like, we literally was shooting down drug mule boats. We literally was playing Battleship in the Caribbean. What are you talking about? Drugs wasn't coming into America. What? Now, I will tell you, man, it's drug dealers, but look, like, you don't gotta lie. This is what's killing the integrity of the media, trying to debo and come into social media. You know, they're trying to do what we're doing, what they're doing, which is bringing lies with them. Shooting down drug mule. That's where he started seizing stuff, and he was like, you know what, just fuck it. We just gonna take the whole country. Shooting down drug mule boats for 4 months. And they keep trying it.
How state regime media operates in Russia, what operates in the
What's going on, LT, man?
United States, folks. This is disgusting stuff. Here, play this clip.
To Maria, I think the more analysis and the more I hear those that have a legitimate opinion about what happened, and if you just take kind of what Secretary Hegseth said kind of at face value, this is strictly a law enforcement type of operation with support from the U.S. military. They can debate all they want, the Monroe Doctrine, which I would say, I think one of the things that's been missing in the discussion is that President Roosevelt revisited this, Teddy Roosevelt, and, made it very clear that this is about each hemisphere as well, globally, and our ability to make sure that countries that are located in our backyard are not a threat to the states. And that's why I think, they can debate this all day in the U.S.
Yeah, it's really a dig at the main media. I don't know what that is, LT, man. I can't click links on the vertical feed. The only feed I got control over, really, honestly, is the horizontal feed. Shouts to LT, man, in the building. No, the media does be lying, and you're right. They really can't tell you what they're lying about. But like, it's just stuff where it's like, bro, you kind of really didn't need to lie about that. Like, media and internet shock value is a little bit different. There's a difference between clickbait, and then there's a difference between like outright lying when people actually get into the actual content,
which they're known for. But at the end of the day, it was a law enforcement action.
Well, I mean, it's really interesting to see the priorities of the Democrats right now and how they get so upset over everything President Trump does. Meanwhile, he's focusing on such enormous things, drugs coming into the country, securing our borders. It's quite a difference in terms of what you're looking at.
Oh, my God. Shout outs to LT, man, coming through as he always do. LT, man, has shared a video, y'all, of Colombian president telling Rubio to come and get him. What? Everybody going out like Tony, y'all. What is up with the cojones Look at the cojones on this guy. All right, let's take a listen to this. Hold on.
Entonces, tengo que decir al señor Marco Rubio, hermano, si me va a meter preso, a ver si...
You know your neighbor, right?
Si quiere poner la pijama naranja, inténtelo. Pero este pueblo no se le ya. Entonces le tengo que decir al señor Marco Rubio, hermano, si me va a meter preso, a ver si puede. Si me quiere poner la naranja, inténtelo.
Everybody trying to see New York. Everybody trying to get flued out.
Pero este pueblo no se le
Shout outs to my foundational white Americans. Let's go.
Rodilla. Entonces le tengo que decir al señor Marco, hermano, si me va a meter preso, a ver si...
I think that's how they're gonna try to I think that's how they're gonna try to get rid of Trump by you know, dictators don't last long. And since Trump is already quote unquote for himself, it's easier to get him to look like a quote unquote dictator.
Si puede. Si me quiere poner la pijama naranja, inténtelo. Pero este pueblo no se
That's so crazy.
arrodilla.
That is so crazy, LT, man.
Entonces le tengo que decir al señor Marco Rubio, hermano, si me va a meter preso, a ver si puede. Si me quiere poner la pijama naranja,
There you go. Jumpsuit on him.
pero este pueblo no se le arrodilla.
And they try to say it's a regime change. I don't know about it being I mean, of course, it's a regime change because of how quick the shit happens, but man, these older cats, man, y'all got to get hip with the times, man. These older cats, man.
Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
Trump was popping shit at Columbia too. Trump gonna put everybody in jail.
What do a nigga like me do who hate gang members? It's my dream to put a nigga in jail. Some niggas wake up and on Friday nights they going to the club to knock a nigga out. They pride theyself in whooping niggas. It's some niggas wake up on Saturday, get dressed, they plan on fucking plenty hoes that night. I wanna put niggas in jail. I wanna put the gangster niggas in jail.
I don't know why he thought this was a good idea. Like he making this same mistake Maduro is making.
So what do a nigga like me do who hate gang members? It's my dream to put a nigga in jail. Some niggas wake up and on Friday nights they going to the club to knock a nigga out. They pride theyself in whooping niggas. It's some niggas wake up on Saturday, get dressed, they plan on fucking plenty hoes that night. I wanna put niggas in jail. I wanna put the gangster niggas in jail.
What's going on, degenerate? This shit is crazy. Oh my God. Hold on, y'all. That's so funny. Blew him right back to Boston City. That's crazy.
So what do a nigga like me do who hate gang members? It's my dream to put a nigga in jail. Some niggas wake up and on Friday nights they going to the club to knock a nigga out. They pride theyself in whooping niggas. It's some niggas wake up on Saturday, get dressed, they plan on fucking plenty hoes that night. I want to put niggas in jail. I want to put the gangster niggas in jail.
Generous said he's not a fan. He's not a fan of the raid.
But you got to have vision.
Gotta have vision, Degenerate. All right, let's get back into it, y'all.
The priorities of the Democrats. Congress returning to Washington today to face a tight legislative calendar.
And then state regime media had to push this all throughout the day, right? They need to give Donald Trump the cover because that's what state regime media does. Then you have Trump stooges who may as well be in the Russian Duma. Here's Tom Emmer, MAGA Republican congressman, saying Donald Trump's just trying to stabilize the region.
That's really what it is.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, Dolomite, that on the bigger picture, we closing that back door, you know.
Stabilize the region, playing this clip.
It's a great day, quite frankly, Maria. You talk about the extraction of Maduro.
Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier. I said Trump basically is just open doing the Black Bush, getting that oil. He just not knocking over the water and running out the room, you know.
Actually, it was stabilized.
All right, let me know if we're back. Hold on. But this is the thing, though, Degenerate. It's not a war. We just took some shit.
In the region, Americans are safer today. The region is safer today, the Western Hemisphere, because of the action that the Trump administration took the other night.
Then you have MAGA Republican Senator Rick Scott said, I'm glad that Donald Trump didn't just take Maduro away, but really has a plan here for democracy. That's what we're excited about. He's committed to freedom. I'm not sure how we're going to get there, but we're going to get there. What are you talking about? Hey, Donald Trump says he's running running Venezuela. He says that he has his own puppet now, who he says is Delcy Rodriguez, part of the Maduro regime, to give him the oil. And he has rejected Maria Corina Machado, the opposition leader, and Edmundo Gonzalez, the guy who won the last election in 2024. Trump supports the authoritarian Marxist right now who will give him the oil in Venezuela. That's what's actually taking place. But listen to Rick Scott lie to the people. Here, play this clip.
I'm glad the president didn't just take Maduro and walk away. I'm glad that he is committed. He is committed to freedom and democracy in Venezuela. Now, I've talked to Marco Rubio about it. I've talked to the president about it. They're committed to freedom and liberty. Now, I can't tell you how they're going to get there, but I believe we're going to get there.
By the way, we're hearing from Japan's Prime Minister Takaishi. She says challenges to the international order are gaining momentum. In the Indo-Pacific, we are seeing further military buildups by China and North Korea, as well as the strengthening of cooperation between China and Russia and North Korea. This is what happened when Donald Trump threw out the previous rules-based world order. You also have the governments of Brazil, Chile, Colombia, Spain, Mexico, and Uruguay uniting in a joint statement condemning the U.S. aggression and warning of any attempt by Donald Trump to run the country and violate its resources and violate its sovereignty. We heard from Prime Minister Keir Starmer. Here's what Starmer had to say. Play this clip.
You would condemn Trump going into Greenland, just to be clear.
Well, let me be really clear about Greenland. The future of Greenland is for Greenland and the Kingdom of Denmark. Denmark is a close European ally, a close NATO ally, and the future, therefore, has to be for Greenland, for the Kingdom of Denmark. And
Yeah, we finna take their oil. Finna take the shit out of their oil. Hold on, y'all.
Huh? Oil? Who said something about oil, bitch? You cooking?
What about people who say you're only interested in the Middle East for oil?
What? Huh? Oil? Who said something about oil, bitch? You cooking?
What about
stop the threats about Greenland? Do you agree with her?
well, I stand with her.
Okay.
And she's right about the future of Greenland.
Okay.
And here's a statement right now from the Prime Minister of Spain, Pedro Sanchez. Respect for the sovereignty and territorial integrity of all states is a non-negotiable principle. From Ukraine to Gaza, passing through Venezuela, Spain will always be committed Spain will always be committed actively to the United Nations and in full solidarity with Denmark and the people of Greenland. And that was after Donald Trump threatened to invade Greenland once again. So we'll keep you posted every step of the way.
I mean, a lot of these countries, they want to be bullied, and not really want to do business. And it's like, well, the orange man gonna make you do business either way.
Subscribe. Let's get to 6 million, and thanks for watching.
Want to stay plugged in? Become a subscriber to our Substack at Midas.
The orange man make you finna do business, man. I gotta be careful because 60 minutes, they flagged both of my last streams, y'all. Please hit the like button. Please support the show. Give me 1 second. See what Dane Calloway is talking about. You know, brothers always got some warped views of shit. Give me 1 second.
It has been reported that Maduro offered everything in his country, all the natural resources. He even recorded a message to you in English recently, offering mediation. What should we do to stop that?
He has offered everything. He's offered everything. You're right. You know why? Because he doesn't want to fuck around with the United States. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, guys. Thanks, guys. Let's go.
Damn.
Let's start here. If you were to ask some people, historians, lawyers, diplomats, what is not supposed to happen in the modern world, one answer will come up again and again. A sitting president being captured by another country. Not sanctioned, not condemned, not isolated, captured. That word alone breaks expectations because it challenges the idea that the global system still runs on rules instead of power. And yet, here we are. So before we talk about whether this was justified, before we talk about legality, before we talk about morality, we have to answer a simpler, more dangerous question. How did the world arrive at a point where this was even possible? For most of the 20th century, the relationship between the United States and Venezuela was not dramatic. It was not ideological. It was not emotional. It was not confrontational. It was transactional. Venezuela possessed enormous oil reserves. The United States needed energy stability. That relationship produced predictability. The U.S. did not aggressively interfere in Venezuela's internal politics. Venezuela remained economically integrated into the Western system. There were disagreements, but not hostility. And that matters because it tells us something very important. This conflict was not inevitable. Everything changed in 1999. That was the year when Hugo Chavez became president of Venezuela. Chavez did not quietly assume power. He did not reassure Western institutions. He did not maintain diplomatic ambiguity. He openly rejected U.S. influence. He framed Venezuela as a nation that has been exploited. He positioned sovereignty as resistance. He described American power as imperialism. This was not just a speech, this was policy. Oil policy was restructured. Military cooperation with the United States declined. Foreign alliances shifted away from Washington. From the U.S. perspective, Chavez was destabilizing. From Venezuela's perspective, Chavez was reclaiming control. Both sides believed they were reacting defensively. That misunderstanding would never be resolved. In April 2002, Hugo Chavez was briefly removed from power during a coup attempt. Within days, he returned. The Venezuelan government accused the United States of supporting the coup. The United States denied direct involvement. But the long-term effect had nothing to do with proof. It had nothing to do with belief. From that movement forward, Venezuela's leadership operated under one assumption: the United States was willing to remove them. Once that belief takes hold, trust does not recover. Every protest becomes suspicious. Every criticism feels coordinated. Every sanction feels preparatory. This is how paranoia becomes policy. From 2002 onward, the relationship hardened. Venezuela moved closer to non-U.S. allies. The United States became increasingly critical of Venezuela's governance. When Hugo Chavez died in 2013, Nicolas Maduro inherited not just power, but unresolved conflict. The economy was already fragile. Political polarization was already extreme. International trust was already broken. Maduro did not create this environment, but he governed inside of it. Under Maduro, protests intensified. The government responded with force. The United States accused Venezuela of human rights abuses. Venezuela accused the United States of economic sabotage. Two narratives formed. In one narrative, Maduro was an authoritarian clinging to power. In the other, Maduro was resisting foreign destabilization. These narratives did not compete. They hardened separately. And then the United States formalized pressure. This is where it gets deeper. In 2015, the United States issued an executive order declaring Venezuela a national security concern. This was not symbolic. It created legal authority for sanctions. Sanctions that restricted banking access, froze assets, and pressured international partners, and reduced economic oxygen. From the United States perspective, this was accountability. From Venezuela's perspective, this was economic warfare.
I mean, they're pushing them over to their side.
The result was clear. Economic suffering deepened, political positions hardened, and diplomatic solutions narrowed. January 2019 marked a decisive shift. The United States declared that Juan Guaido, not Nicolas Maduro, was the legitimate president of Venezuela. This was not rhetoric, this was legal repositioning. From that moment, Maduro was no longer recognized as the head of state by the US. His authority was rejected and his protections were weakened. This decision matters more than any sanction because legitimacy is the foundation of sovereignty. Once legitimacy is removed, everything else becomes negotiable. In March 2020, the U.S. Department of Justice unsealed indictments. They accused Nicolas Maduro and others of narco-terrorism, drug trafficking, weapons offenses, and coordination with armed groups. This was unprecedented. A sitting president was no longer just isolated, he was criminally charged. The United States placed a monetary reward on information leading to his arrest. That reward eventually reached $50 million. From this point forward, the U.S. position was clear. Maduro was not a leader, he was a fugitive. This is where the critics entered the record. Legal scholars argue that the heads of state possesses sovereign immunity, and indictments do not override sovereignty, and military captive violates international norms. And also, no United Nations authorization was granted, and no declaration of war was issued. Their concern was not the defense of Maduro. Their concern was press.
Well, I mean, how am I going to say this? Trump basically brought him back to the U.S. because he broke some quote-unquote U.S. laws. So if he's breaking U.S. laws and Trump brings him back to the U.S., I mean, he captured him. I mean, he literally captured the man. And then let's just oh man, my voice is gone. Let's just say, first of all, what is anybody going to do about it anyway? I'm on y'all side. Y'all said this in the chat and it's true. What the hell is anybody going to do about it anyway? God damn it.
If one nation can seize another nation's leader under criminal framing, the global system changes. This is a warning. The United States rejected that framing. Its position was simple. They said, we do not recognize Maduro as president. Sovereign immunity does not apply. Criminal conspiracies are.
And Maduro said he still remains president of I said Nicaragua, Jesus Christ, of Venezuela. I don't know how, but okay.
Are prosecutable, and that this was a law enforcement operation. In other words, you cannot claim protection.
Hold on. Did you write it? You said the Stoke is real. One wheel is life. Oh, I done made War Master a believer. Yes. 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 Yes, sir. Welcome to the One Wheel Gang.
From a title we do not acknowledge. This logic reframes the act entirely.
Right, War
now,
Master.
Whether the world accepts that logic is still unresolved. On January 3rd, 2026, U.S. forces captured Nicolas Maduro and transferred him to U.S. custody. There was no ambiguity. This was not symbolic. This was not rhetoric. This was execution of a long-standing position.
Now, you know what would be super gangster? If Trump tells y'all to come get him. Because I was looking at a convoy in New York that was delivering him, I guess, to the courthouse or whatever. Yeah. You know what it's called, War Master? You gotta get some comfortable shoes. It's called foot fatigue. It's called foot fatigue.
To many, it felt sudden, but it was not.
It's because those are muscles that usually doesn't get worked out in your legs. It's called foot fatigue. Those are muscles that usually doesn't get worked out in your legs. So what happens is that when you're riding it, you're like literally your lower legs are like absorbing every rock and crevice that's in the ground and stuff through the tire. And it works out. Dang, you were speeding on that joint. Top speed 12. Did you practice with it, or were you in delirium? Make sure you use your phone and go into delirium. Oh man, this is awesome. Let me know if you need me to drop the link. This is awesome.
Felt sudden because the public saw the endpoint without the pathway. Years of sanctions, delegitimization, indictments, rewards, and diplomatic breakdown were compressed into a single headline. History rarely announces itself clearly. It accumulates quietly. This moment forces an uncomfortable question. Where does law end and power begin?
I think we have to really ask ourselves what is truly the motivation behind why the U.S. is invading Venezuela, because frankly, that has been muddled.
Raquel Aldana, an expert in immigration law, says the strikes come after months of building tension in the region, with President Trump promoting the
Brazil going to try to negotiate Floyd for Maduro.
ouster as a way to stem the flow of drugs into the U.S.
It was a force against a heavily fortified military fortress in the heart of Caracas to bring outlaw dictator Nicolas Maduro to justice,
while also giving the U.S. a greater stake in the country and control.
If you can, I don't know if they have it, but turn on Simple Stop. Turn on Simple Stop if they updated the app and they have it.
Control of its oil.
We're going to take back the oil that, frankly, we should have taken back a long time ago. We're going to run the country until such time as we can do a safe, proper, and judicious transition.
Either of those two examples, even if we take them at face value, are not valid reasons to invade a country.
This story topping international headlines tonight, from Cuba to Miami to here in Atlanta, even the nation.
Bro, Bear Slick tires get a lot of traction in snow, rocks, and everything.
Capital demonstrators are rallying across the Americas in response to this attack. Some are celebrating the capture of President Maduro, while others are protesting. chanting "No war on Venezuela."
This is a government making a decision that could plunge an entire region into war without any sort of approval from Congress. There's no representation occurring on our government right now.
So what I want to see happen is the end of the sanctions regime against Venezuela. No more bombing campaigns. The president needs to be
Shut your black ass up.
returned immediately because, again, it's sick and sadistic to steal the president of another country.
Mayor Karen Bass saying in a statement, quote, "The administration's reckless decision to strike Venezuela to remove Nicolas Maduro risks chaos, violence, and entrenching the United States in a conflict the American people did not ask for. Los Angeles will continue to stand for peace, democracy, and diplomacy."
My main worry is that we're going to be sucked into another prolonged 20-year war with no real end in sight.
We saw it in Iraq in 2003 with a takeover.
What are they talking about? There is no war. It's over with.
Of a country that was no threat to us in the name of a resource, namely oil.
I want to show you all the people protesting here in the middle of the street on West Colfax Avenue.
And all of these people, if they go home and try to turn on their oil ran houses and their oil ran cars, if it don't cut on, they're gonna be mad as hell.
This group started out outside the Capitol. Now they're kind of moving down the street. You can see some of their signs say "No war on Venezuela." Many of these people protesting say the U.S. capture of Nicolas Maduro will lead to escalation in the region.
And while Maduro really is not a good guy, he's a terrible dictator, I don't think that Trump is going to help their people. I don't think that's his intent here.
And reactions from Venezuelans are mixed. Some celebrating in the streets in places like Miami.
I can't tell you how happy I am. There's tears in my eyes. We've been waiting for this moment since 1998.
While others, like Omelis Marchan, a Venezuelan living in Denver, say celebrating this moment is ignorant. She came to the U.S. with her family in 2023 to escape crime in Venezuela.
¿Qué vamos a celebrar? They're celebrating what exactly? The fall of people in Venezuela, the deaths that have happened?
Her father, uncles, and her husband live in Caracas. She says her family is living in a state of fear, not sure what will happen tomorrow, and not sure what President Trump is planning for Venezuelans.
There's a lot of people who are saying, yes, we need someone to intervene, but they don't know what an intervention is. They don't understand that what they're seeing in the poverty right now in Venezuela is only going to lead to more poverty after this and more need in the country.
Some would say justice was served. Some would say sovereignty was violated.
Well, I think that's because, yeah, they said, and he said they stole equipment and oil. I think these guys have seen what the Democrats have done to these other countries, so they think it's going to be the same way.
Some would say order was enforced. Some would say chaos was invited. All of those views exist because history allows them to. But this event does not end with custody. It continues in international courts, diplomatic realignment, economic consequence, and global precedent. Other nations are watching, not because they support Maduro, but because they're measuring risk. History would not judge this moment emotionally. It would judge it by what precedent was set, what power was normalized, what protections were weakened, and what comes next. So this is not a conclusion. This is a checkpoint. And now you understand how we got here. I'm Dane Calloway, and I'm just here to make you think.
Shout outs to Dane Calloway. This actually was a great breakdown. And he didn't insert no weird black rhetoric
But you
into
got
it.
to have vision.
Shout out to Dan Calloway.
So what do a nigga like me do who hate gang members? It's my dream to put a nigga in jail. Some niggas wake up and on Friday nights they going to the club to knock a nigga out. They pride theyself in whooping niggas. It's some niggas wake up on Saturday, get dressed, they plan on fucking plenty hoes that night. I want to put niggas in jail. I want to put the gangster niggas in jail.
Please support the show. Please hit the like button. Please hit the Cash App. Please hit the PayPal. Bringing y'all a great show. We're already an hour and 47 minutes into the madness. Man, oh man. Man, oh man. So much stuff to talk about. What's going on, Shannon B? Good to see you, man. Happy New Year. I'm really trying to get an Xbox at this point. You know, I got a little bit of good news. You know, late last month, I got one more obstacle. Well, I got 1.5 more obstacles to get out the way. Got something saved up for the Xbox fund. War Master. Oh my goodness. Man, my throat is killing me, y'all. Pause. Shouts to War Master on a successful trip. Holy shit. Give me 1 second, y'all. Shout outs to War Master dropping the, oh my goodness. Huge. I didn't even notice. Huge. 50 nifty on the Cash App. Hold on, y'all.
All right, we going. What a money reside. What a money reside. What a money reside. What a money reside. Okay, let me tell y'all something. I'm doing something real big this month. Any deal that y'all got and they beating us, I'm gonna be about $400. Just give me your pen and the paper, cause I'm asked what the what? What a money reside. What a money reside. What a money reside. What a money reside. Okay, I told y'all before. Y'all know what I do. I give all these good deals and everything else. Y'all better ask about me because I do all that all the time. And that's on who? Man had a little lamb. Okay.
Or Master. Thank you so much for always supporting Player Talk Radio. Let's get it. It's Player Talk.
If Jesus can't save these hoes, why are you trying? What make you think you greater than Jesus, nigga? If Jesus can't save these hoes, why are you trying? Why are you trying, nigga? If Jesus can't save these hoes, why are you trying? Why are you trying? What make you think you greater than Jesus, nigga? What make you think you greater than Jesus? What make you think you greater than Jesus, nigga? What make you think you greater than Jesus? What make you think you greater than Jesus? Swing the wing makes God. Can't save these hoes. Can't save these hoes, nigga. Can't save these hoes. Can't save these hoes. Can't save these hoes. Shit. Can't save these hoes. 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 Can't save these hoes, nigga. If Jesus can't save these hoes, why are you trying? Why are you trying? If Jesus can't save these hoes, why are you trying? Why are you trying? What make you think you greater than Jesus, nigga? What make you think?
Greater than Jesus. Holy shit. Shout outs to War Master. Man, we throwing all of this stuff back for old time's sake, y'all. Old time's sake, all right? Oil.
People who say you're only interested in the Middle East for oil.
What? Huh? Oil? Who said something about oil, bitch? You cooking?
What about people who say you're only interested in the Middle East for oil?
What? Huh? Oil? Who said something about oil, bitch? You cooking?
One wheel is absolutely life. So we gonna see what they say about, we're gonna see what they say about, what they say about Trump taking over Venezuela. Just a lot of people that are they're just hypocrites. How can Putin say anything? Hold on, I gotta find a video that Party sent me. Let's get back into it. Give me 1 second.
I'm joined now by All Rise News' Adam Klasfeld. Adam, you are in New York right now at the arraignment for Nicolas Maduro, the former or ousted president of Venezuela, who was brought to the U.S. So first and foremost, can you talk about what happened at the arraignment?
What I tell you? Hold on. Shout outs to War Master, bro. I'm telling you, I'm so happy, bro. You're gonna be surfing on that thing, but be careful because them nosedives are no fucking joke. I'm surprised you know how to use it to get back and forth, bro. It took me like a whole weekend to really learn how to use it, but bro, the death wheel contraption. Are you regular or goofy? Like, are you riding with your left side forward or your right side forward? Because I do need to learn how to ride switch. He said one wheel doesn't like Raven Knight. We're gonna get Raven on his also. We're gonna have a one wheel club, y'all. I can't believe War Master. To this day, I still can't believe you have a one wheel. Like I'm like, let's go. Let's go.
The arraignment, in essence, was Nicolas Maduro and his
Now, all I need to is get an Xbox and persuade you to play Persona.
Celia Flores pleaded not guilty.
One thing at a time, y'all. Baby steps.
To the counts of the indictment charged against him.
Oh, you're goofy. What?
But there was more, of course, that happened beyond that. These are historic proceedings. And as Nicolas Maduro entered the courtroom, he immediately noticed the filled ceremonial court.
The cool thing about one wheel, though, is that you can't push Mongo.
As the fact that the jury box was filled with reporters, as was the gallery. He greeted them Happy New Year 3 times before sitting down. And these are, if you've ever attended an arraignment, these are very formal proceedings. You are alerted of your rights. Your things like verifying your name is something that happens. And so the 92-year-old judge.
What's going on, Cave Reaper? Cave Reaper say, yo, Kuda, I feel like you fell off a little. No disrespect. Before you changed the name to Mental Chewing Gum Podcast, you should go back out to Thailand and show the Assport Bros how it's properly done. Well, I mean, I didn't fall off. I got shadow banned, and then a lot of stuff was happening. And, just rebranded, and I'm still in Asia. You know what I'm saying? I'm still in Asia. And Yeah, you know, I mean, you see what's happening. They're backing off of Floyd right now. Maybe Brazil can negotiate with America to trade Floyd for Maduro.
Judge Alvin Hellerstein prompted Mr. Maduro to
Give Venezuela their dude back.
give his name. And Maduro replied with a speech. He said, I'm the president of Venezuela. He said that he was kidnapped in a military operation. He was interrupted by the judge at that point, said you have
Yeah, I heard him
all
and the
the
judge
time
had a
you need
shouting
to air
match,
this
y'all.
when the proceedings proceed. But right now, I am simply asking you your name. He repeated his name.
Yeah, they said Maduro, the judge had to cut Maduro off. Like he had a shouting match with him. Shout out to the Cave Reaper. He said, okay, good to see you back. You said, bet you should make some good content out there. What do you mean by they're backing off of Floyd? The Passport Bros are backtracking. They're laying low, you know? They're laying low, you know?
You shouldn't have been talking shit.
They're laying low off of Floyd, you know? They're trying to act like Floyd didn't even exist. You know? I mean, no, they're just backing off the whole name Passport Bros in general. You know? I think they're really trying to, I think they're really trying to get Austin, honestly, to tell you the truth. Yeah, I look, I hope Floyd ain't guilty, but they said they said they got him on camera and some wild shit on his on his SD card. So I don't know, man.
So you haven't been with any underage girls?
Why would I let y'all catch me again for something I ain't do before that I'm gonna get caught for again? That's stupid. Which camera I'm lying to? That's stupid. That's not even common sense. Where's your common? That's stupid.
What about the alleged unspeakable things in the dark room?
Woo! Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I hope that camera keep going. This is not the truth.
So you really want to play the victim right now?
You're fucking killing me. You're fucking killing me. 30 years of my career. 30 years of my fucking career. I've been fucking these young bitches 30 years of my career. Now y'all wanna kill me. This is not me. This is not me. Y'all just don't want to believe the truth. Hey!
You know, y'all just don't. Y'all just don't want to believe the truth, man.
Camera on me?
Yes, it's on.
That's stupid. Use your common sense.
And so quite a lot happened surrounding the proceedings. There was a man in the gallery, Pedro Rojas, who, when Maduro started on that speech, when he described himself as the president of Venezuela, shouted out "Jamás," meaning never in Spanish. And there was a little exchange with them at the end of the proceedings. Tensions are high, Mr. Rojas said outside the courtroom, speaking to reporters, that he himself was targeted by the government, which is what brought him there to watch the proceedings.
All right, so I have a few questions here, but the first, and this might betray a little of my naivety on this topic, but can you talk about the legality?
I mean, they always back off of stuff, bro. They always back off of stuff. I mean, when the red pill got hot, everybody all of a sudden wasn't red pill when people start getting their name put on FBI lists and stuff. So, you know,
of basically extracting a world leader, a president of a different country, and bringing them into the United States. And I mean, does that open the floodgates for any foreign leader who we view as a criminal to be extracted and brought to the United States?
It's an absolutely great question, Brian, and we found out today that it is a question that will be litigated in these proceedings. Nicolás Maduro is represented by Julian Assange's attorney, Barry Pollock, also by David Wickstrom, who is a public defender who previously represented a co-defendant of former Honduran President Juan Orlando Hernandez, who Trump pardoned. So to your question, Brian, the legality of the raid that whisked Maduro to this New York federal courthouse today is something that Barry Pollock, his attorney,
shouts to Bronze Flat Power God in the building. Happy New Year, man.
I expect the government to say that this happened with former Panamanian dictator Manuel Noriega back in the 1980s under George H.W. Bush. But I expect that this will be distinguished by the fact that the Panamanian government at the time declared war on the United States. Courts will have to grapple with the fact of what guardrails, if there is an indictment anywhere in the world, will an indictment justify taking away a purported head of state or any national anywhere? It is a formal extradition process, a thing of the past. In the Noriega case, Noriega's convictions for drug trafficking and other offenses were affirmed. And so there is precedent for something like this happening. Although we heard today from Barry Pollock, the defense attorney for Mr. Maduro, that he will challenge it. They are going to claim that that Mr. Maduro has sovereign immunity, and I expect that the U.S. government will say that he has been illegitimately serving as the president of Venezuela since the 2018 election and the National Assembly declaring Mr. Maduro a usurper in 2019. So the question that you pose is a very good one. It's one that we will hear more about. There's going to be a hearing in this very courthouse right behind me on March 17th that I think will engage in these very questions.
I mean, would this lead us into a world where, you know, if an opponent of Vladimir Putin comes into office and says, well, Putin clearly didn't win his election with 98% of the vote or whatever vote total he claims to have gotten, and so does that give us grounds then to go into Russia, into the Kremlin, and just, you know, pluck Vladimir Putin out of office and bring him into the United States in very much the same way that Nicolás Maduro was?
Right.
I mean, we could have plucked Vladimir Putin a couple of times. I mean, Trump had some, what was it? What were those, y'all? B-16s? He had some B-16s flying over Putin. Like, hey, man, you get your mind right. Next time you see these planes, them guns gonna be pointed at you.
So, I mean, to your point, Brian, there are two different things that we're grappling with. This is U.S. law and the entire international order. And you talk about other authoritarian rulers anywhere around the globe. These are norms that are going to be set around the world. What about other governments? One of the benefits we have as a U.S. citizen is that if a foreign dictatorship decides that someone has committed a crime because they have spoken badly about the regime, that our courts are there as a bulwark, that you can go to your court. There will be a formal extradition process. You can contest it. Are we moving?
I mean, which between Greenland, Canada, and let's just say Cuba, which country you think is next? Niggas just gonna start kidnapping presidents. Drop a dick on a bitch. Drop a dick on a bitch.
Swag like mine because it ain't a another like me. Huh? Since the day of my birth until I leave God's green earth, it ain't gonna be a another like me. They can duplicate, they can replicate, they can make carbon copies. A motherfucker could do me better than me if we swap bodies. Cause it ain't a another like me.
Bitch, I drop dick on the bitch. I drop dick on the
Drop a dick on a bitch. Drop a dick on a bitch. What? Oh shit.
Took over Venezuela in less than 5 hours, y'all.
Into a war. And I think this is going to be part of the broader conversation.
And it was, and it actually was pretty brilliant too. So what they were doing, they were using helicopters. They were using helicopters. And they were creating a diversion on the other side. And after they created the diversion, they was over there plucking old boy and his girl up out of that building, you know.
Conversation, although not necessarily the conversation that transpires in this courthouse, of what does this do for U.S. law and precedent, and what does this do for the world moving forward?
By that same logic, is there a world where another country can say that Donald Trump is as bad as we say Nicolas Maduro is, and that they then have grounds based on what we're doing here in the United States to come in and pluck Donald Trump out of the United States and bring him into, you know, some judicial proceedings in a different country?
You know, right after the raid in Caracas and the arrest of Maduro, going and his being sent first to Guantanamo Bay to be handed off and sent to the Southern District of New York, there was a big international response. And political scientist Ian Brenner said, essentially, to be careful that what we do today, one's enemies can do the next day, and that the law of the jungle, the might makes right world, can harm everyone. Other things that we learned in court today. I would say that, so Celia Cruz, you could see at the defense table, had a bandage over her right eye, some on her temple, and so she appeared a little injured, and her attorney made a point to say that he wanted a medical examination, that these are injuries he said that she sustained during the raid on the compound. I expect that.
Well, they're playing games now. But on the back end, I bet you Trump's phone is ringing like, hey, can we get in on some of those minerals? Shout outs to Devin D in the place to be. Happy New Year's, my brother. We made it, man. Good to see you, man. You know, on the back end, they asking Trump for some of the minerals, man.
That will be litigated. We're going to hear a lot more about this. This is, once things come to court, what is going to be explored are, for one, the allegations of the indictment, the narco trafficking conspiracy, the allegations of terrorism links, and all of that, yes, but also the legality of the raid. What actually happened? What sovereign immunity arguments are there? And what kind of world are we going to have going forward in terms of U.S. law and the international world?
Adam, does the fact that Trump just pardoned the former Honduran president for basically importing 400 tons of drugs into the United States, does that undermine this case where the U.S. government claims to take such a hard line against narco terrorists when the last thing they did with the previous narco terrorist, who just so happened to be another South American world leader, was to basically give that person immunity?
So we'll see if Maduro's lawyers bring it up. It certainly undermines the public rationale for this. If you have a foreign government leader, Honduran president, Juan Orlando Hernandez, who was convicted by a jury of, as you said, a narco trafficking conspiracy that involved 400 tons of cocaine, and evidence came out at trial that he accepted bribes from El Chapo, and that Mr. Hernandez was was pardoned by Trump after appealing to his sense of, I am a prosecuted former president. That it certainly undermines it in the public eye. Now, will it undermine it over the course of these proceedings? Well, this remains to be seen. We'll see.
Boosie trying to get a presidential pardon. It'll be crazy if Maduro's trying to get a presidential pardon.
One thing that is notable is that he has retained two lawyers, a private counsel and a public defender. And the public defender represented someone in Juan Orlando Hernandez's conspiracy case. A co-conspirator of Mr. Hernandez is now one of the public defenders who is representing Mr. Maduro.
Adam, I was surprised to see that the judge presiding over this case is 92 years old. I'm curious, in watching the judge preside, how did he look? It's not every day, especially with the issue of age so prevalent in politics today. How is a 92-year-old judge presiding over this case?
He's a very sharp nonagenarian. One thing about Alvin Hellerstein, he presided over a case very similar to this one, not counting this conspiracy case. Last year in 2025, in May, he released a ruling blocking Trump's invocation of the Alien Enemies Act, which was premised on the idea that the Venezuelan gang Tren de Aragua is an arm of the Venezuelan state involved in an invasion of the U.S. Judge Hellerstein was the one who ruled that was illegal, that there was no invasion, and that the legal justification that premised whisking away 200 men to what he described as a notoriously evil prison, El Salvador's CICOT prison, and that this was a judge who is known as a sharp defender of civil liberties. He's been on the bench a long time. He is 92 years old. He ordered the release, as I recall, of Abu Ghraib videos back in the day. But he one thing to talk about his age a bit, when he began the proceedings, he said that one of his jobs is to guarantee Mr. Maduro a fair trial, but he also gave a crack about his age and his height. He said he was taking the bench and sitting behind one of those monitors where during the trial the parties and the judge might take a look at what is in the running transcript. And he said the problem with being short is that the judges are obscured by the modern technology. So, you know, he's a charming person, he's a tough judge, and he's been known as someone who can hold the government's feet to the fire.
Last question here, Adam. What is the environment like there? I mean, this is a historic moment that you're right in the middle of, where the U.S. has basically extradited a sitting president of a foreign country into a federal courtroom in New York. And so, what is the atmosphere like where you are?
Well, I mean, the historic weight of the moment is apparent. Anyone who's been in the court and surrounding the court. Mr. Maduro began his speech today by saying, "I am a kidnapped president." There was a person in the gallery who was so incensed by what Mr. Maduro was saying that when he said, "I am the president of Venezuela," shouted out "Jamás," meaning never in Spanish. That after the proceeding, when Mr. Maduro said again that he's the president of Venezuela, he shouted out "Illegitimate." Yeah. We right across the street from where I am. It's a few hours after the arraignment, so it has broken up. But there were two pretty sizable protests. There were strong critics of the Maduro regime on the left, and there were people who were very strong critics of U.S. actions to my right. And many of them have been staying along. Many of them have been speaking to reporters. But this is a place where tensions are high, where the secrets of two governments are spilling out of the federal courthouse and will do so for months and maybe years to come. So I expect that this won't be the last major demonstration outside 500 Pearl Street related to the case of Nicolás Maduro.
Well, I should let everybody know right now that Adam is, bringing us the action straight from the courtroom in New York. He's often
Yeah, I mean, all eyes are on America now, y'all.
Times all around the country, wherever these court cases are happening. And so a small step that we can all take to support his work as an independent journalist is to subscribe to his Substack, his newsletter. I'm going to put All Rise News right here on the screen and also in the post description of this video.
All right, let's see what's going on in the at the courthouse, y'all. All right, y'all hit the like button. Please support the show. And also, too, we'll get back into what Jason Black has to say in 1 second.
What we're here to do at this moment, the judge then asked if Maduro has read the indictment. The counsel, about whom we just spoke, answered for him and says it's been summarized for him and that he understands it. Maduro then waived the public reading of the charges, says he will read them himself. The judge did then read him his rights. He acknowledged his counsel, Mr. Pollack. Then the judge read essentially his Miranda, and then Maduro said he did not know of these rights, but that he is now informed. And then Maduro went on to plead not guilty.
Wow. He says, I am still president of my country.
Right. And he says that for a number of reasons. I would imagine, number one, because that's the way he sees his situation. Number two, Manuel Noriega, the Panamanian dictator who was taken into custody in the Bush administration, and we heard from Bill Barr earlier today. He was the AG in charge of overseeing that at the Department of Justice at the time. But the head of state immunity issue is the one that he knows he can press, that he will try to use to defend himself, that I have immunity because I am the head of state. It did not work for Noriega in that trial back in Panama, and he was indicted on very similar drug charges, drug trafficking charges. The other thing that I would mention is, just in terms of venue, as Emily pointed out, it could have been anywhere. I think some people would have argued that Florida was a good venue for this particular case. It is in New York. It falls under the U.S. Attorney Jay Clayton and the Southern District of New York in this case, and they have a lot of experience with this, but it is unlikely to go to trial for a very long time. And one of the issues, it will have a very long process, is what I'm hearing.
So in between then, they're gonna try to get him back home. They really got to negotiate with Trump now. So I don't know what Putin is gonna do. Trump gonna be like, "Hey, stop the war." But y'all know we can only trust Putin as far as we can throw him.
From former federal officials, and so he is likely to sit in jail for quite some time.
That's a fascinating detail, how long he sits in jail, and that cartel of the Sons, De La Solis, you've got those members, you've got Tren de Aragua, you've got others. Those people are going to try to continue to do business, and that's just fresh intelligence on the ground for who will be there, the United States.
It's like torture. He got to sit back and watch his country be ran by somebody else.
And so it gets more complicated day by day, I would imagine. But that is such an interesting point of how long he'll sit there. I was trying to find his age, because that matters too, right?
I think he's 63.
Longer he sits there, maybe that changes things for him.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's been in power for 17 years, and we can look up his age. I'm not exactly sure, but it is, he's not recognized. 50 countries do not recognize him as the legitimate leader of this country, including the EU. So this is we just heard about this from Michael Waltz at the United Nations. So this is there's a lot of consensus on this. Did you just discover?
Yeah, I found it, and maybe because I'm getting older, but 63 doesn't seem that old to me.
Yeah, I would put him around there. And he's a tall man.
Well, apparently he was towering over his counsel.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Just want to point out too, his wife now has counsel as well. Texas Attorney Mark Donnelly filed a motion to be admitted as counsel for Celia Adela Flores de Maduro. So I believe that there are something is happening with her right now, according to Paul's notes in the room. It appears we are getting a sense of a very defiant Maduro in this courtroom, insisting he has done nothing wrong repeatedly to the point where the judge has had to stop him from talking.
Yeah, and he said, well, we could talk about the 4 counts and the fact that you want to, say that you're not guilty to all 4, but we're not doing it today. I want to bring in Carrie Urban. Again, we have a team of people who are watching this for us, legal experts, and we also have Paul Mauro who is a legal expert as well, former NYPD, and has been inside that courtroom many times. He's at the courthouse. So, Carrie Urbana, I want to go to you now about the defiance that we are hearing reported inside the courtroom. And was that anticipated? Does that matter?
Yes. Well, the fact that he's wearing a black shirt on top of his orange jumpsuit, that's defiance in a T-shirt, right? It's symbolizing control. It's saying, look, I'm doing what I want to do still, and I'm in charge. But look, his wife, and since we're talking about ages, she's 69, and she is about...
Yeah. I ain't gonna lie, I'm getting cooked.
to be arraigned. She's no shrinking violet. She was the head of Venezuela's Congress, what's Congress for them. She was Attorney General, and there are some serious allegations against her in this indictment, including the fact that she attended a meeting where she accepted hundreds of thousands of dollars in bribes to broker a meeting between a large-scale drug trafficker and, wait for it, the director of Venezuela's National Anti-Drug Office. Yes, they actually have one, apparently. Her nephews
You just assured me that I could speak.
Sit down inside the car. We're not assuring anything. We're under arrest.
Look, I'm under what?
Come on.
Gentlemen, this is Democracy Manifest. Have a look at the headlock here. See that chap over there? Get your hand off my penis! This is the bloke who got me on the penis before.
Get some cups.
Why did you do this to me?
Hop in the car. Get some cups.
For what reason? What is the charge? Eating a meal? A succulent Chinese meal? Oh, that's a nice headlock, sir. Oh, yes. I see that you know your judo well. Good one. And you, sir, are you waiting to receive my limp penis? How dare get your hands off me.
No, we've only got one cup.
Ta-ta and farewell.
So I guess getting in the car.
One cup, look. They even broke.
were recorded, presumably to DEA sources, and they said that they were, quote, at war with the United States. And that's very helpful language, I think, for the government's case, as they bring that, for sure. And those were her nephews. But interestingly, they indicated in this meeting that they were seeking to raise $20 million in drug proceeds to support a campaign by Celia for her re-election campaign for National Assembly when she was running that. So it's quite a family operation that has been using the Venezuelan government as a front for this international drug operation for many years now.
So, you know, the most recent video that I remember where we saw anything coming from Maduro was in that moving car where he was saying, you know, come and get me, and, you know, he's not afraid of anything. and that sort of thing. I'm paraphrasing. Some of it was salty. But I'm curious to know what's being seen in court today. Is that the individual who was anticipating being taken? They were trying to go into, you know, a locked room. They were trying to get away and hide in their protective room, and they couldn't outrun our U.S. military, he and his wife.
Yeah, that's right. And look, this is standard processes of justice that's happening right now. They're being arraigned. They're entering their pleas. We're seeing who's representing them. And his wife, it seems like, is up next. The fact that he wants to read, apparently, the charges himself, I think you just said that out loud. I didn't see that in the notes, but that's quite interesting as well. He is, I think, like Martha was pointing out, you know, he is very much wanting to portray to the world, I am the president of Venezuela, I am in charge, and I'm not going down without a fight. Now, of course, because of the Noriega precedent and this being a very, I think, open and shut law enforcement case with the added benefit of defenses from a national security perspective, I don't really think he has much of a shot. But this is going to take some time, and it'll be interesting to see how it all plays out.
So it's interesting from our team, our producing team, and also Paul Morrow in the courthouse. The wife, Celia Flores, is dressed the same as Maduro. She confirms her identity. Her voice is weak or thin. She waives her charges being read to her. Overall, Maduro comes off as defiant. The wife seems defeated and small. That's our team making these observations. And she says that she's pleading not guilty, quote unquote, completely innocent. So we are hearing from her at this point, Carrie.
Yes. Well, she's entering her plea. This is part of what you see at an arraignment. But again, she was a power player in Venezuela politics and government. And, you know, in the indictment, the government also alleges that both she and her husband maintained their own personal groups of state-sponsored gangs to facilitate and protect their drug trafficking operations. I mean, this is extensive, powerful stuff here. And she appears to be right there with Maduro all along. In fact, there's some local reporting that I was looking at earlier that has suggested along the way that she may be even more astute than he is, and that she may actually behind the scenes even be more powerful. So while I'm looking at Maduro for sure, because obviously he's the one in charge, I personally am just as interested in his wife and seeing what happens there.
Yeah, and look, I want to remind everybody, we are joined today by Trey Gowdy, Jonathan Turley, Donna Rotunno, who we've seen this hour, and Carrie Urban as our legal experts standing by. But I want to bring it to the couch for right now. Inside the courtroom, prosecutor just stated that the defendants have the right to request consular consultation. That is to consult with the Venezuelan consultation. Judge reads this to the two defendants, and then they both stand and say, yes, they want that. This will be scheduled. Emily.
Yes, and interestingly, after that, so the judge also reminds everyone about the Brady obligations, sort of interrupting the prosecutor to state so, which effectively means that the prosecution has to present all evidence, give all evidence to the respective defendants' attorneys. And they say, of course, I will comply. Of course, we will do this. I note, too, just to take a step back, that the judge opened the proceeding by making a broader statement about how he will ensure a fair trial. And you and I, all of us have here on the couch, covered very extensively the amount of trials where the judge does that, these high-profile trials where from the beginning the judge makes a statement that says, essentially, have no fear, we are impervious to political pressure, we will stick to the letter of the law, processes everything, the defendants will receive a fair trial, even if we have...
But I mean, what happens if he's not guilty? Will we just return him and say, oh, my bad? And will he get sentenced during Trump's terms? How the hell does that work? And could he get a pardon? If Putin says he'll end the war, is Trump going to pardon him? But keep the oil?
Or preconceived notions of them to begin with. So the judge here, no exception. And as you stated earlier, that the age of 92 certainly doesn't sound like it. And again, going back to the
you talked about the judge's age there.
Yes, yeah. Maduro and Celia, that she has now sort of been sitting As we said, Paul Moro said defeated and small appearing, but Maduro, he notes in contrast, very engaged, taking copious notes on his legal pad as these proceedings continue.
Ben, your thoughts?
Yes, and they're saying that he is very, very engaged at the moment, and that's something that we've seen from his character going back many years. And you think back to that moment where he stood up and he said, "Come and get me, come and get me." Well, I think that was a result of he did not think people were coming to get him. And he saw the last administration not acting on it.
He shouldn't have said that. I know when he heard them helicopters, I know he shouldn't have said that.
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
He was just chilling with his lady. He started hearing them helicopters.
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
Jadunsky.
On these indictments, and I think he felt that no one was going to make that move to go in and get him. Despite the military buildup in the Caribbean, despite the ships there, he felt he was protected. And he's clearly someone who likes to make his opinions heard. You remember when he got off the helicopter, he said, he turned to the journalist and he said, "Happy New Year." He was talking to them. He is engaged, and I think he will use this opportunity. He must know he's spending the rest of his life in jail. You know, the counterterrorism or the counterintelligence head of Venezuela
was in mid-stroke
a few years ago, and he will presumably also be giving up.
Shit, imagine being in mid-stroke and you start hearing helicopters.
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
Evidence against Maduro. So we think that there is going to be a lot of evidence against him. And so look, this next year or more, if this trial goes on, is Maduro's last chance to really stand up and make his voice heard and try and raise up opinion, not just around the world, but also in Venezuela. He needs the Venezuelan people to hear that voice so that they don't turn quickly to the US. He wants to get these people on the streets of Venezuela to show support back home, or else his future is gone. His power there is gone. And he wants to keep that going as well.
You know, it's probably not the right day to get into China and all of this. I started a little bit of this conversation last hour because I'm so fascinated by the tight knitting between Iran, China, Russia, and Venezuela through its oil. And on a day when I think we can really dig into it. But I just want to get some top line thoughts on that.
Well, very briefly.
Well, you said the right thing, through its oil. If they release him and all that oil is gone, he about to be at home like.
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
Because I heard that's all he was eating off of. He's eating off the oil.
There are so many elements to this story. Of course, there's the justice we're seeing now, but there is oil as well. And many people say, oh, you talk about the oil, it's a negative word. No, it's a very real word. And then the other impact is geopolitical. Look at the powers that had influence in Venezuela. Russia, China, Iran, Hezbollah. In the southern hemisphere, Cuba, they were getting stronger there.
Close to us, proximity.
Very close. And look, if you can get them out of that country, if you can free that country, if you can take advantage of its oil, that is real positive. And look, it affects the war in Ukraine as well. Russia is banking on the oil that it's getting. And if you can bring oil prices down by getting this oil, that's a knock-on effect as well. There are countless positives behind this, and I think that's important. Last one is that every world leader who is corrupt, every terrorism out there is now on the back foot. They think it could be them next, and they haven't felt that till now. They could be next.
And Sandra, I know with these...
That's crazy that we got the whole world on pins and needles, y'all. Pins and needles.
You need to diversify your bonds, nigga.
Pins and needles. Now and they got to be crazy too, because now one person congratulated the U.S. for their victory. But
congratulations! Oh my God!
But us.
Oil ghost ships and the routes that we didn't know about, and ships with no flags and all of that. This will come out, some of those routes and Venezuela's role in that, but it does attack the cost for Russia. And what is President Trump trying to do right now? He's trying to get Russia to come to the table for that Ukraine-Russia war deal. It's interesting. There is strategy there, is my point.
Yeah, and Russia is... many people in Russia in the last couple of days are saying what a waste the billions of dollars on Venezuela have been, because Russia has nothing to show for it. So it's creating criticism in Russia as well.
Crazy.
Nicolas Maduro appeared in court in Manhattan with...
2026, and Donald Trump decided to bomb Caracas to be able to take Nicolas Maduro and his wife back to the United States to face a federal indictment out of the Southern District of New York. There are so many questions swirling about the legalities under domestic and international law as to what just happened over the weekend. What's going to happen moving forward with that federal indictment against Maduro and his wife? And does this have any kind of collateral and consequential, kind of impacts or effects on things like the Alien Enemies Act? To answer all of my questions, I called on my good friend and colleague, Georgetown law professor Steve Vladeck, to be able to explain it all. So here it goes. And when I need things explained to me in ways that I will understand, so that I am empowered, because as I like to say, knowledge is power here at the Katie Phang News Channel, I call on my good friend and brilliant Georgetown law professor, although that sounds like I'm also a Georgetown law professor, which I am not, because I'm not as great as Steve.
I would welcome that. How can we make that happen?
I don't know. They might freak out a little bit with my unorthodox ways. But Steve, man, listen, and Steve Vladeck, folks, if you do not follow and subscribe to One First, his newsletter that also tackles critical Supreme Court issues, then you are missing out. But Steve, man, look, let's just start straight out of the gate with, did what we just witnessed in Venezuela, is that legal domestically or internationally?
No. Good to see you, Katie. Talk to you next
It was good to see you, man. Peace out. Thanks for coming to our Tech Talk, people. It was good to see you. Okay, so let's start with let's just go.
Yeah.
You know what? Just go. Just explain what the hell is going on.
So let's, it might be helpful to break apart the domestic and international law questions.
Please.
So the international law question is actually, in some respects, the easier one, because there's just no there. So Article 2 of the UN Charter, which is not just some, fancy-pantsy international treaty. It is a treaty that the United States has ratified. It is therefore the law of the United States. Has a rather categorical ban on one nation violating the sovereignty of another, with maybe, Katie, a small exception in Article 51 for self-defense, but there's no self-defense argument here.
Exactly.
And so the only real argument that could possibly be advanced as a matter of international law for why this was legal is if the duly elected leaders of Venezuela asked us to do this, right? If the legitimate government of Venezuela requested our help.
Take a pause. But who gets to define? And by the way, let's just get this out of the way, because I'm a little annoyed that I'm hearing the criticism of this. I am not a fan of Nicolas Maduro. Nor are you, Steve Vladeck. We are not proponents of Nicolas Maduro.
I have not had to put away my, Nicolas Maduro, fan poster.
Okay,
no.
that shit. That's not the case. So I want to know who gets to be the person or the arbiter then in the international law space, Steve, of who's the quote democratically or recognized leader of Venezuela.
The recognition question is messy 6 ways from Sunday. And it's messy because you have both the question of sort of the international level, and you have different countries which might have different answers to whether they recognize a particular person as head of state. Let's start at the bottom. There was a period of time from 2013 to 2019 when Maduro was recognized by the United States, by both the Obama administration and the Trump administration, as the legitimate, duly elected, lawful head of state in Venezuela. It was only after the 2018 elections, about which there were serious legitimacy and integrity questions, that the United States and a series of other countries stopped recognizing Maduro. So right off the bat, we have someone who, at least for a time, was unquestionably recognized as the legitimate head of state of Venezuela. It would get messier, Katie, if there was someone standing up and saying, actually, I'm the duly elected head of state and I consent to this. Then it would get messier, right? Then there'd at least be the patina of argument that what the United States had.
Well, they said old girl that was running at the time, after he devoted from her, he went into hiding. So
has done Friday night was consistent with international law. No one is saying that, right? And so what would be, Katie, perhaps the best possible defense as a matter of international law, just, we don't even have to get to the question of who counts, because no one in a position to make that claim has made that claim.
And especially that, then this is the perfect segue to the domestic analysis, right? Because what we've heard so far, and of course, this is, take it with the huge, not even a grain of salt, with like a dump truck of salt.
Yes.
We were told by the Trump administration, and let's move back for just a hot second too.
I mean, and if y'all haven't learned anything this week, you would see that political leaders, people in America, I'm not saying what Trump did was super right. It was some gangster shit, but it's like they would destroy themselves just to not agree with anything Trump does. People will be like, oh, he was over there unsubscribing his people. And they're like, we don't care. Trump shouldn't have done that. And the irony is that the Democrats want America and would love America to play like the world hero, which is hilarious. There's just, I guess, wrong messenger, huh? If Obama did this, oh, he's a hero. But it's not even that. I think a lot of the other countries wouldn't like it either if America did this just in general. I wonder what Obama has to say. He gonna be talking shit this week. You're just gonna say America shouldn't be doing this in general because they don't want us to have our hands on that oil. But that's just crazy. We went from having to negotiate other people with oil to saying, fuck y'all, we good. Shit, at this point, we could just let the Middle East just destroy themselves. Like, we really can be self-sustaining now. Like, remember, South America, there's certain parts of South America, if you look at the coastlines, right, y'all, it lines up with Africa still to this day. The rocks and everything. South America got a lot of minerals and resources. I just don't know why this man had to run his mouth. Colombia wants to get took. He better calm down too. He gonna be the next one.
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
Greenland.
I can only hope.
We just gonna be taking everything out here, y'all.
The Trump administration, via Secretary of State Marco Rubio, made affirmative representations to members of Congress who have not declared. We're not at war with Venezuela. I just want to make sure this is clear. There's no congressional authorization of war
People keep saying we're at war. It's like, no, whatever you thought was happening is done already.
with Venezuela. But Marco Rubio affirmatively stated to members of Congress that this is not a regime change. We are not seeking a regime change in Venezuela. We are not seeking to replace Maduro as head of state or unrecognized head of state with someone else. In fact, the only excuse we were given, although Trump did spend a shitload of time on Saturday doing that presser talking about oil, we were told that the United States law enforcement facilitated the involuntary extradition of Nicolas Maduro to the United States to face an indictment out of the Southern District of New York. Right?
If we want to be really technical, I think the correct legal term is rendition.
Oh, yeah. Touche. Yeah. So rendition occurred on Friday.
Yes.
Rendition definitely being an involuntary act of Nicolas Maduro to the United States to face a multi-count federal indictment out of the Southern District of New York. So this is a law enforcement function, correct?
And so far, right, let's back up. You said something that I don't want to gloss over, which is there has been no consistent explanation for any of this from the Trump administration. There was the president's bumbling press conference on Saturday.
He don't have to lie. He's like, yeah, I did it. What y'all gonna do?
There are things that Marco Rubio says he's told people. There are things that, like, Mike Lee has said Marco Rubio told him. But Katie, the best we can piece together is that what you said is right. We still think Delcy Rodriguez, who was Maduro's vice president, is actually the current at least de facto head of state in Venezuela. And the real argument appears to be sort of a classic tail wagging the dog, where it wasn't a military operation. It was an arrest operation, and the military was just there to protect those poor FBI guys who we sent into Venezuela in a naked violation of Venezuelan sovereignty from the possibility that Venezuela might shoot at them.
So how do we send American FBI agents onto foreign soil surrounded and protected by United States American military?
So what the Trump administration appears to be doing, and I want to stress appears because we haven't seen any formal legal rationale, is mushing together two different lines of argument that have been made by the Justice Department in the past, Katie, but never embraced by courts. So the first line is the FBI line. And there's this, as you know, deeply controversial OLC memorandum.
Office of Legal Counsel.
Yep. That was written by then OLC Assistant Attorney General Bill Barr. Yes, the same Bill Barr in 1989. That concludes that the president has inherent constitutional power under Article 2 to send FBI agents onto foreign soil to effectuate arrests for violating the U.S. criminal statutes. So, Katie, you know this from your time as a prosecutor. There are a whole bunch of federal statutes that do have extraterritorial application, meaning that you can violate the law even if you're outside the U.S. So here's Barr saying, and beyond the normal extradition process, the FBI even could go into a country without their permission to arrest someone if there's a valid indictment in a...
But what made this fucked up was that he was bombing the country. So he did attack the country. But what it did was it basically was a diversion. So while their military was focused on getting slapped from the other side, he was getting kidnapped from the other side.
U.S. civilian federal court. And even more crazy, Barr says, the president has inherent constitutional authority, not just statutory authority, to send FBI agents to do that. So that's the first piece. The second piece is the notion that, in general, the president has Article 2 power to protect federal personnel from violent attack. And so, you know, you can put troops in front of a federal courthouse, Katie.
I was going to say, like, isn't this kind of what we were seeing with the federalization of the National Guard in these cities under this quote unquote theory or premise
of protective power?
Yeah, protective powers.
Right.
Yeah.
And so basically the protective power and the Barr memo had a baby. And the Barr memo is the putative justification for sending the FBI into Venezuela without Venezuela's consent. And then the protective powers, our poor FBI guys might get shot at if we send them into Venezuela. We better send troops to protect them. And if that's not bootstrapping and the tail wagging the dog to a degree that just you've never seen before, I'm not sure what is. But that appears to be, Katie, how we got there.
You know, Steve, I want to just take a slight, tiny little footnote detour right now about OLC, because OLC memos keep on getting invoked over time, but they're not law. OLC memos are not federal statutes. They're not law. They are, by definition, a memorandum. Listen, at strongest, a legal analysis suggesting a course of conduct. So the fact that you've said that these theories have yet to be tested, or strike that, have yet to be court approved, does it mean they haven't been tested yet in courts at the same time, or what?
Yes, I mean, so as you might imagine, we haven't done a lot of these kinds of militarized extraterritorial arrest operations in our history.
Understandably so.
And I know we'll talk about Panama and we'll talk about Noriega, but you know, sort of the short version of all of this is that I think even though those two threads both come from OLC, one is a lot more controversial. Like, there is at least some acceptance, Katie, not just in the Justice Department, but out in the world of law professors and experts, that the protective power makes at least some sense, right? That, you know, FDR did not need an act of Congress to shoot down Japanese planes over Pearl Harbor on the morning of December 7th, 1941, right? Like, that seems...
I ain't gonna lie, America has I don't know why people don't understand. We have a big history of doing people dirty, bro. We did Japan dirty. We did them dirty. We did them dirty. Honestly, we be blitzkrieging people. For lack of a better word. You know, if y'all know what I, you know, y'all know the history behind who invented the blitzkrieg like that. We be blitzkrieging the hell out of people.
It's not insane. The Barr memo is what's insane. And the Barr memo is not just insane, Katie, it has been soundly...
And the crazy part is that we don't have to.
Debunked by, you know, everybody over the 37 years that it's been on.
But then again, they were warned. So
the books. Barr never even considers the fact that the UN Charter is actually ratified by the Senate and is therefore U.S. law, right? He never considers the sort of the war powers problem that the memo is basically saying the president can send troops into a foreign country without Congress saying anything, right? I mean, it's so, you know, OLC memos, we did this whole song and dance during the George W. Bush administration with the torture memos, right? Like these memos are very important from the perspective of providing internal legal rationalizations for what the executive branch is doing. They don't in any way establish legality, right? Like writing something that saying this is legal 10 times does not make it so. And so I guess, you know, part of the problem here is that we have a framework that is based on a highly controversial memorandum.
Well, laws aren't really real until they get enforced. Technically. There really is no such thing as a law if it's not enforced, honestly. And then again, when you think you make it away with something, it's like it's up to somebody to decide to enforce it. So
that has been, you know, soundly discredited for 37 years, only to have the Trump administration dust it off because no one else is going to hold it to account.
And you mentioned, you said something a couple of minutes ago, Steve, that we are going to assume what's happening here because we have yet to actually read or hear formal legal rationale set forth by the Trump administration. I would say reasonably we can anticipate that in a legal filing, correct? Like, you know, let's just say there's a motion to dismiss, and I'm getting a little bit ahead of ourselves a little bit, but say there's a motion to dismiss filed by Maduro and his wife to get rid of that indictment, and then the government has to respond as to how it was legal that they were able to obtain him. And we'll get into Care Frisbee in a second. But let's talk about Panama and let's talk about Manuel Noriega, because that one, ironically, you know, it was the anniversary of that too, right? Like over the weekend, which was crazy. But that keeps on kind of getting interjected. And I say it's like the resurrection, the ghost of Manuel Noriega coming back.
I have a good episode title, The Ghost of Manuel Noriega.
I think it's fantastic. So talk about why Panama and Manuel Noriega, why Trump can't rely on that as being on all fours as with what just happened this weekend with Maduro and Venezuela.
Sure. So the first thing to say is, you know, there was never any kind of conclusive legal analysis that upheld what President George H.W. Bush did in Panama. So, right, it's at most, it is a historical precedent, not a legal precedent. There's also, Katie, one critical difference. So let's back up for a second. So in 1989, late 1989, President George H.W. Bush sends, I think it's 25,000 troops into Panama, part of what was called Operation Just Cause, with the goal of deposing and then ultimately arresting General Manuel Noriega, who had been the de facto but not de jure ruler of Panama since 1983.
And when you say de facto, not de jure, what do you mean?
So Nicolas Maduro, whatever you think of the elections in 2018 and 2024, he was the elected president of Venezuela. So as a matter of Venezuelan law, he was the de jure head of state, much like President Trump is our de jure head of state. Manuel Noriega was never elected, right? There had been a military coup, and he was I think the second person to come to power after the coup, right, in 1983. And so he never had any claim to legitimate election, to legitimate selection under Panamanian law. He was ruling by force, not by right.
Okay.
That's going to come back to matter when we get to recognition. But before we even get there, so President George H.W. Bush sends in 25,000 troops. Katie, two critical factual differences between what happened in Panama and what happened in Venezuela. in Panama before President Bush ever sent troops.
And they're talking about Daddy Bush. You're talking about Daddy Bush. All right, let's go.
Into Panama, the Panamanian General Assembly had declared war against the United States. There was a war, at least from the perspective of the Panamanian government. And then second, not only was there a war on paper, but there had been attacks against U.S. personnel who were already stationed in Panama, including the murder of one Marine. So, you know, I don't know that I'm sort of comfortable saying that therefore President George W. Bush was totally legally justified in what he did. But at the very least, there was a provocation. There was a declaration of war by the foreign nation before we ever.
I mean, so a nigga yelling and talking shit, talking about some come and get me. That's not provoking somebody. And I know Trump is looking at the president of Colombia.
But you
like,
do know who I'm talking about. Shut your bitch ass up before I get to talking shit about you. You don't want me to expose you. Selling that weed, boy. But you do know who I'm talking about. Shut your bitch ass up before I get to talking shit about you. You don't want me to expose you. Selling that weed, boy.
Nobody's safe. He looking at Greenland like.
But you do know who I'm talking about. Shut your bitch ass up before I get to talking shit about you. You don't want me to expose you. Selling that weed, boy.
He looking at
but
Canada
you do know
like.
who I'm talking about. Shut your bitch ass up before I get to talking shit about you. You don't want me to expose you. Selling that weed, boy.
He looking at Mexico
but you
like.
do know who I'm talking about. Shut your bitch ass up before I get to talking shit about you. You don't want me to expose you. Selling that weed, boy.
And let's not forget Cuba.
But you do know who I'm talking about. Shut your bitch ass up before I get to talking shit about you. You don't want me to expose you. Selling that weed, boy.
Did anything?
Did the United States declare war against by Congress?
So no, we didn't, which is part of the problem. And so I think you could still make a pretty good argument that as a matter of domestic law, actually what we did in Panama was unlawful. But the international law question is much harder for those reasons, right? Because the Panamanian legislature had declared war, because there had already been an act of armed aggression against U.S. personnel. Now you have more of a self-defense argument under the UN Charter. So that's, the Panama scenario, I think both is not a legal precedent and also I think can be distinguished. The other piece of this also is that, again, unlike in Panama, here, we may think that the 2018 and 2024 Venezuelan elections were illegitimate. Maduro was still, at least nominally elected by the people of Venezuela in a way that Noriega never was. And I think that's relevant politically, and I think it's also going to be relevant as we turn toward what happens to Maduro himself in this criminal prosecution.
So I know that Manuel Noriega raised several defenses, even though he, quote, surrendered to U.S. forces, and then he was brought back to the United States, specifically to Miami, by the way, right here in the Southern District of Florida, to face his indictment, which also hauntingly mirrors a lot of the allegations against Nicolas Maduro when it comes to narco trafficking, weapons offenses, etc. But Noriega raised several legal defenses about the way within which he was deposed and brought to the United States to face these charges. Can Maduro raise these same defenses? And if they are they dead on arrival?
So I think there are two buckets here. And I think one of them has no chance. And one of them I think is actually going to be where much of the action is. So the first bucket is, can Maduro challenge his prosecution based on the means by which his presence in the United States was secured, right? Based upon the rendition.
AKA, we call this in the law personal jurisdiction.
Correct.
How does a court in the...
I didn't even see what you said, Party. He said they stand down when niggas say come and get me. They think it's a sexual yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah, and he took him all the way through there, took that man to New York. They talking about something they need to take him to Florida. Why? So they can kidnap his ass back? Why the hell would they take him to Florida? Mad as hell. Went up in there spanking shit. So. I don't even think the court, depending on how long he's in there, I don't even think it's gonna, his case might not start while Trump is in office. So Trump might just spend the rest of the, he might just spend the rest of this shit just basically negotiating for the war to stop. So we got to see.
United States get jurisdiction over the person of that party, the defendant, etc. Okay.
Right. And so normally in normal personal jurisdiction land, you cannot forcibly compel a defendant into, you cannot like kidnap someone and bring them into the court and therefore establish personal jurisdiction over them.
Yeah.
Well, the U.S. Supreme Court has a different view about this in criminal cases. And so that you already mentioned the Kerr-Frisbee doctrine, named after cases shockingly known as Kerr and Frisbee, which stands for the proposition that a federal criminal court in the United States is not divested of personal jurisdiction over a defendant, no matter how the defendant's presence was secured. Even
they got to stop trying to run fades with the damn president, bro. Like it's they gotta stop trying to run fades with the president, man.
Fuck you, nigga. You think you hard? Wanna talk shit? Pick up the phone, bitch. This the real shit right here.
Shut the fuck up, you nitwit. You talking shit upon my shit, homeboy? You just a little punk ass, bitch, bitch. Fuck that.
Thousands of niggas is waiting for your motherfucking call, and they all talking shit up on that ass right now. Big niggas, thick niggas, curvaceous niggas, affectionate niggas.
Mwah, nigga. You want that true nigga shit? Let's call the line off top.
1213-373-4253. Only $4.99 a minute. These niggas is desperate.
You call me fucker? Man, shut the fuck up, you tropical snake.
80s niggas. 90s niggas. Sleepy ass niggas.
Nigga.
Broke niggas. Baroque niggas. Parmesan niggas. Mystery niggas, revealed niggas. Fake niggas. Famous niggas.
I'm alive, fool!
Sensitive niggas.
Yeah, motherfucker. I'll fuck you up.
And once
you want to talk shit? Pick up the phone, bitch.
in cases in which the U.S. government forcibly abducted the defendant from foreign soil, which was the facts of a 1992 case called the United States versus Alvarez machine. So that's not going to be a great line of argument for Maduro, even though maybe it should be.
Well, so what could see some action then, you said?
So the real question, I think, is going to circle a lot around what's known colloquially as head of state immunity. So, right, this is where things get really fun and crazy. There's something that's called foreign sovereign immunity, which is recognized by statute. We have a whole statute called the Foreign Sovereign Immunities Act. Head of state immunity is different. Head of state immunity is a common law immunity that the United States has recognized all the way back to a John Marshall opinion from 1812. And it stands for the proposition that the United States cannot prosecute, cannot even civilly try, right, official acts of a foreign head of state who has been recognized as such by the United States. And that's the sticky wicket, right? The recognition piece is where this gets very messy. So,
and does that turn heavily on the facts of the recognition?
Yes.
Meaning, how has the United States interacted with Maduro to date? Have they chosen his vice president, for example, to negotiate with versus Maduro directly? So it becomes a very fact-intensive analysis.
With historically, Katie, at least a lot of deference to the executive branch, right? Which, yay. In Noriega's case, that made the issue fairly open and shut for the 11th Circuit, for the federal appeals court that has jurisdiction over Miami. The 11th Circuit said, even if we weren't going to defer to the Bush administration's claim that they don't recognize Noriega, the reality is he was never the de jure head of state. And so he's not entitled to head of state immunity at the very least because he was never really the head of state. That's not true in Maduro's case. I mean, again, this goes back to something we talked about a few minutes ago. From at least 2013 to 2019, the United States did recognize Maduro as the legitimate, duly elected head of state of Venezuela. If you look at the indictment, some of the offenses charged in the indictment overlap with the time period during which we recognized him as the head of state of Venezuela. And
we got to remind people, though, Steve, that indictment that was just unsealed over the weekend and kind of touted around like some, prize calf by Pamela Joe at the DOJ, that's a superseding indictment. So there was an original indictment actually against Maduro. And again, Maduro, we are not supporting him. We're not fans. He's no angel. But I'm just saying there was an original indictment that he was facing years ago. And this indictment supersedes, meaning it replaces that older indictment.
And I think we don't know the dates of either indictment. What seems to be different about the second indictment, among other things, is that it adds Maduro's wife, Celia,
that's right,
who was not a party to the earlier indictment. And so when Pam Bondi says, these guys have been fugitives from the law, not sure how you can be a fugitive from an indictment you didn't know about, but that's...
I mean... people would be like, well, you keep talking shit, we're just gonna come and get you.
Jollof rice combination. Grand Rising. You know, while you've been sipping on that satanic nectar you call bottled water, I've been decalcifying my pineal gland with triple ionic distilled counter reverse osmosis diffused alkaline Kangen water, which can be yours for 2 easy payments of $49.99 per ounce. Call now to get what on earth he just said. Also, Hillary Clinton is a clone.
Happy New Year. War Master had his first successful ride on his one wheel. We just got to get Raven to crank up the GT. Let's go.
Why should logic stop us?
But there's a thread to pull from there, though, which is why, and Margaret Brennan actually asked this question of Marco Rubio yesterday on the Sunday shows. If you have warrants for the other people that are in the Maduro administration, and I guess maybe this is their plausible excuse if you're Trump, right? I wasn't doing regime change. That's why I didn't depose all of the members of the Maduro administration.
I think that has to be the argument, right?
Second
so
right.
I didn't touch them. I only touched Maduro and his wife. But if you have arrest warrants, bounties on the heads of several of these kind of top members of the administration, and by the way, the VP in Venezuela, it's not like anybody's made allegations that her hands are clean either. Let's be very clear. Like, why would you not also facilitate the arrest of those people? Is it because they...
Raven said War Master has 3 more rides before it treats him bad, like a bad slave.
they weren't facing an indictment in the U.S.
So we're back to the problem of the sort of
no, man, those look. Those one-wheel falls are no joke.
Lack of coherence coming out of the Trump administration about what this is about.
Because
right?
it's a day ending and why.
Some days it's about, in 1 hour, it's about arresting Maduro. The next hour, it's about regime change. The next hour, it's about oil. Right? And like, these are very, very different arguments that would have very different consequences. I will say, like, that we didn't arrest other people is probably a political obstacle more than a legal one, right? The real question that's going to come up in the Maduro prosecution is how can we prosecute someone who, for at least much of the indictment period, we viewed as the legitimate head of state of a foreign sovereign. And
even if they're committing criminal activity.
So historical, that doesn't matter. I mean, part of, Katie, part of why there was a movement after World War II to create meaningful international criminal responsibility, even for heads of state, is because it was understood that domestic legal systems usually lacked the capacity to hold foreign heads of state criminally liable. Right? That this is why you needed the Nuremberg War Crimes Tribunal, the Tokyo War Crimes Tribunal, the International Criminal Court. So, unless we're going to sort of turn tails on this entire doctrine, a lot of the Maduro case is going to turn on which acts he's being prosecuted for that post-date his derecognition, and whether derecognition even matters. I mean, there hasn't been a case like this where you had someone who was for period number 1 a recognized head of state, and then for period number 2 a non-recognized head of state. That's a novelty that's going to cause a lot of, I think, uncertainty and mischief in the pretrial proceedings in this case.
Okay, I mean, I don't want to be totally weird about this, but it also kind of reminds me, it smacks a little bit about the presidential immunity analysis too, right? Does it fall within the perimeter of the conduct that you're doing as president? Does it not? I mean, part of that was just...
Will Master said, I bought wrist guards, elbow and knee pads, pause. I don't want to be in pain for days like, man, listen, the impact alone, it's not even the road rage, Will Master. The road rash is one thing, but the impact alone, Lord have mercy.
Are you president? Are you not? But okay, so let's take a little bit. Let's pull on another thread.
Can I just say one thing about that, Katie? I mean, I think
yeah. Is that weird that I brought that up?
It is worth not sleeping on the possibility that now a defendant like Maduro can point to John Roberts' majority opinion in the Trump case
and say you get immunity as president, right?
And for even more.
All right, guys, my voice is tapping out again, but actually, before we get up out of here, I want to show y'all something real quick. Some gear corn. I want to show y'all some gear corn real quick. Let me show y'all some good gear corn. Y'all know I used to love ATEM, right? Check this out. I want one of these so bad. Hold on. No sound. Hold on.
Just released a major update to their Rodecaster series, and I'm actually using it right now to control all of the tech, the cameras, the live switching, the audio. Everything that you see right now is being controlled by this guy right here that you can see from this top-down shot. This is the brand new Rodecaster Video S, and it's essentially a more compact version of the original Rodecaster Video, but it has a couple less inputs and outputs, and it's way more affordable at $499. This one little unit can replace your video capture card, your audio interface, your video switchers, and much more. It handles all of my audio processing, all of my overlays and video transitions, and even sends a clean feed straight to my computer for live streams or video calls and can simultaneously record ISO channels of every single camera that I have right now in my scene. Now, if you saw our original review about the Rodecaster video, you know truly how insanely powerful this thing truly is. And the new S version gets you about 90% of the power of the original Rodecaster for less than half the price. So if you're a solo creator or you want a multi-camera workflow without the giant footprint, this might be the most creator-friendly switcher on the entire market. Now, with that quick overview, let's break down everything that is new or different with the Video S model so you can decide if this is the right one for your setup. The Rodecaster Video S features 3 HDMI inputs for cameras or even other
they don't even take
devices
so much
like
real
screens
estate
and
on the
monitors
desk.
if you wanted to run those into the Rodecaster. Also features one USB-C input that you could use for webcams or different USB-C style microphones. Right now, I'm actually using it right here with my Hollyland Lyra webcam, which interchanges pretty nicely with my other Sony cameras. We got a Sony a7 IV over here, FX3, and then the USB-C input is the Lyra. And if you want to get a little crazier, this is NDI capable. That stands for Network Device Interface. And NDI basically lets you send video over your Wi-Fi or Ethernet network instead of...
When I was teaching y'all this shit, I got kicked out of the manosphere. Y'all rather hear a white man say it.
Having to hardwire everything in with HDMI cables. This means that you can add video sources just by connecting them to your network. And it also lets you control PTZ cameras over the network, or even if you wanted to like use your iPhone as a wireless video source, you can do that with this system, all without plugging anything in directly to the Rodecaster Video S. On the back of the unit, we have 2 XLR style combo jacks that you can also run quarter-inch inputs into, and these are world-class preamps. You're going to be able to power even the weakest style microphones. I grabbed one of my cheapest microphones for this video, the Fifine AM8, which doesn't have the greatest XLR preamps, and it powers this microphone just fine. Now, this unit also has built-in wireless audio receivers, so you can pair some of Rode's wireless microphones directly with the unit. And I have it set up right now. I actually have this little Rode Wireless Pro connected right here, and I've built a scene that doesn't actually switch my camera input, but will just change my audio source, and I'll switch to that right now. And now you're not hearing the podcast audio, you're hearing the Rode Wireless Pro audio. So if I get up and kind of walk around my scene, it should be capturing all of this audio wirelessly, which is so cool. Like sometimes we'll do mastermind events or webinars where we'll have team members positioned in different parts of an arena or even like a house. Like we'll use our content director's house at times.
Yeah,
we'll
I think so, Raven.
Bedrooms just making content, and you could connect all of these different microphones wirelessly. And it's so easy just to get set up, just kind of pair the units together in one quick click and you're good to go. You can also pair Bluetooth devices to your Rodecaster Video S and then maybe accept phone calls if you had guests calling into your show, or even just play music. Like right now, I just pulled up Stream Beats on Spotify, hit play, and now we have some Stream Beats going in the background. I can just dial in my levels with the audio mixer that it has, so I can kind of fade it out or fade it back in depending on what I want. Really cool feature.
What's going on, Link? I actually pulled out my MPC the other day before I got sick and was messing around with it. But actually recording songs, I haven't recorded a song in like 2-3 months. I got like a bunch of unfinished tracks that I needed to add certain stuff to.
Sure.
Know?
There's also one HDMI output for program.
I know, War Master. Imagine running an Xbox off of this. You could just plug in one of the Xboxes, the HDMI from the Xbox into the switcher, and just hardwire that shit right into the Streamlabs or OBS, you know.
Monitoring. So right now, I actually have it set up with one of my video monitors up here, and I'll show you some B-roll of
StreamYard.
that. And what this allows you to do is see whatever camera is live at any given time. And you can also switch it to a multi-view mode where you view every single input and even some of your audio levels all in one place.
Yeah,
and this is
Skylink,
pretty
I was
familiar
looking it
if
up.
you've ever used different switching softwares before. It'll kind of look like that same interface. This version also features internal storage of 20 gigabytes, and this is a great feature for storing different media on
So you wouldn't need a capture card.
your Rodecaster. So like right here, I'll switch over to my screen recording. I have different like videos saved, backgrounds, PNGs, things that I could use for my production. And that's great. So you don't have to offload media via like an SD card or anything like that. It actually has that built-in 20 gigabytes of storage. I do wish this was a little bit higher so you could store more stuff, but it might not be necessary for every single workflow. Now with the Video S, you're actually able to live stream and record ISO channels. So every single camera input and video feed that I have plugged in right now, I can record all simultaneously, plus the program out feed that embeds all of these switches and everything, and live stream to YouTube or Twitch, wherever I want, all at the same time. Pretty wild. Now remember, this is limited to 1080p workflow. So at this point, no 4K resolution is supported. So if that's a deal breaker for you, totally fine. There's other switchers you can try to go look at, but most of them are going to run you thousands.
1080p though is not bad though. It would be probably high res.
Of dollars to get a 4K workflow. For most people,
yeah, Starfield would look crazy.
Who are doing live streams or webinars, coaching calls, 1080p is still enough resolution to work with. Now, that being said, I won't be surprised if Rode gives us a 4K switcher in the next couple years, or maybe, just maybe, they'd even find a way to make an update to the original Rodecaster video that's a little bit larger and more expensive to make it 4K capable. Now, no promises here, but I wouldn't be surprised if that's something they're working on maybe in the future. And by the way, for this whole video, I did record in 1080p, but then I scaled up the resolution 200% in post-production software so I could fill a 4K frame to match my B-roll that I shot for this video. So all of this footage that you see right here is 1080p. I just scaled it up to be a little bit larger to match with what my other B-roll is, and honestly, I think it retained the video quality very well. Now, a quick rundown of some of the differences between the Rodecaster Video and Video S. What the S version keeps is you get the same user interface and experience, so all the layout and design is going to feel exactly the same between both of the units. You also get the same preamps and audio processing, and it's world-class. I mean, this really feels like a Rodecaster audio interface paired with a video switcher. You also get the same auto switching features, so you could have multiple speakers and pair different video inputs with audio inputs.
All right, y'all know I got to stop showing y'all this shit because got a lot of people that like to sneak, soak, and steal. But listen, y'all, I got to take my medicine. That shit is going to knock me out. My voice is going back out. Listen, I need to save my voice for the next show within the next couple of hours. You said, who taught me audio and tech? I had to blood, sweat, and tears I had to learn by my damn self. And then I had to educate myself on it. Tell you the truth. But man, the way I got done dirty in this space, bringing y'all high quality information was crazy. You know? I got some stuff to show y'all on the next show too, because there's a lot of space talk going on. But you know, on the next show, we'll talk a little bit more about this whole Venezuela thing. But we got some space stuff to get back to, all right? Shout outs to everybody in the building. I appreciate you guys. Shout outs to War Master for sponsoring the show as always. I love you guys. It's Player Talk Radio. I'm going to come back on later on today, which I think technically will be like early in the morning for you guys. Maybe 1, 2, 3 a.m. for you guys, you know. Player Talk Radio. Hold on.
Special Lebanese ancestral push. You know, you're gonna need some sea moss to recover from that one. Luckily, I have some available. Only 3 easy payments of $699.95 per ounce. Call now to get your ridiculously expensive sea moss while supplies last. Also, Prince Charles is a vampire.
Oh man, I gotta revamp this whole thing. All right, shout outs to everybody here. I love you guys. It's Player Talk Radio. If you guys enjoyed the show, please support the show on air, off air. You support Player Talk Radio anywhere because you know what? You care. It's Scooter. Peace.